Hello? Hello, hello? My auto captioner is showing that I'm talking, so I sure hope I am. Pretend I raided you with 10 people. Oh yeah, I have quote unquote, in bold characters, strange raid settings. I might turn those off at some point, but right now, oops. Now, I might become a little bit echoey, because I am currently walking around my room. Why? But it's everything in detail. You already know. And in this everything in detail, we have something quite special. And also quite daunting. Payday 2 is a video game. This might come off as a surprise to you, but it is indeed a video game. And there's a lot about Payday 2. But more specifically, there's Payday 2, Payday the Heist. We have to talk about Overkill. We have to talk about Starbreeze. We have to talk about Lion Game Lion. We have to talk about Overkill's The Walking Dead. We have to talk about Raid World War II. And we gotta talk for a while. We gotta talk about a lot. This stream might go on for a few hours. I'm fully expectant of that. Let me make sure I am ready on this end. I have been anticipating this stream for a long time, I'll have you know though. This stream has been a long time coming. Literally has been a long time coming. I've always wanted to do this. And now here we are. Let me ensure that everything is ready. Okay, there we go. That looks up about set. Now, I'm very sure you don't want to be on just... Hold on, I need to like turn down the music probably. You get lowered a little bit. My desktop, like... Here, I'm gonna close out of the Payday 2 soundtrack for a moment. My desktop, like, audio got fucked up for some reason and doesn't, like, work as it should. Which is strange. Let me see if I can I play a sound file? We might just not have music. That would be fine. There sure is a lot of audio files here. Which one of these audio files is safe? Let's find out. Okay. That worked, but why doesn't it work on Google Chrome, where I have the audio being routed to? It works now? I'll take it. Okay, that works. Let me see if I can load this playlist. There are stealth tracks for each, like, heist, and we will use those. Let me swap over to everything in detail, though. Whoa! It's everything in detail. Uh-oh! Someone figured out that there is a very funny command that you can do. So, which one of these cameras is correct? I hope it's cam-free. It is. Give me one moment here. Cable management. Hi. Welcome to this everything in fucking detail. It's going to be quite something. and I don't know if I'm quite ready for it. I'm not gonna, this coat is not staying on. This room is too warm for that. Here is my friend. So, you have antlers like Minecraft. Great. Love that sentence. Let me get up real quick and not be outdoors. Holy shit, I live somewhere. There's probably a better way I could do cable management right now. I don't care. But we don't have just one camera. The whiteboard, of course, returns. There's something very special with the whiteboard today. During the stream, we need to consider that Payday 2 is a pretty big video game. Payday 2 has a lot in it. It's a 75 gigabyte game, for Christ's sakes. Payday 2 has a lot in it. Checking in on everything. There is, before we get into anything, we need to do a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, my streams are 16 plus. If you're not 16 or older, you need to go away. You need to go watch, like, PBS Kids. Sorry, I don't make the rules. I did. That's it. My streams are 16 plus, and the other rule is that if you're a jerk, I'm gonna beam you on the head, and you're not gonna be here anymore. Oh well! So Payday 2 has a lot in it. And we need to consider all of its heists. We're gonna be tiering all of the Payday 2 heists in the game. And that's all gonna go up on here. If you're wondering how many of these I have, there's like 75 pieces of paper down there. There's a lot in Payday 2, and we have to go through all of it. But that's not for now. Let me swap over here. Let's talk about what Payday 2 is. And also, I'm going to undeafen in call. If anyone in the funny stream server wants to hop on in, as it were, go for it, or something. Cable has to go around there because it's wired. And now sit back down and hope.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just gonna be quiet for a sec because I'm eating popcorn.
Oh, great popcorn. Stream, how is audio on Mist's end? That small bit we got. Because I might want to make that louder if possible. I think I have Discord audio routed into a different audio source, and that works pretty well for making people not quiet. This was kind of quiet. Let me see what I can do for that. This guy is incredibly fragile. He may break at any moment.
Will admit I am just kind of quiet when I talk generally, so I don't know.
Oh, I know why you're quiet. My desktop audio isn't doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing. Oh, shit. The alerts need to go somewhere else. Hold on. Len, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the subscription. Where's notifications? Here's the notification box. I'm just going to throw that in the middle, and we're going to do with it. If I set that to my headphones, will that double up audio? Oh yeah, I will. Oh shit, that needs to get turned off. I will just raise Mist up in call by like 60%.
Awesome.
Maybe a little bit more. Audio balancing is going to be weird for this stream, just like every other everything in detail. My microphone is weird, my audio setup is weird, this spot that I'm in is weird, it's all sorts of fucked up. This light needs to become brighter so you can see me a little bit more.
Audio balance in streams in general is just kind of a fucking nightmare is the thing.
That light gets turned up a little bit more so you can see me a little bit better. Dear God, every time this table shakes around, I get worried that this little guy here is gonna fucking keel over and die. So, before we... He's fucking dead. So, Payday 2 has paper crafts that they released in 2016 during one of their crime fests. And, I'm not very good at paper crafts. I haven't done a paper craft in a long time. And I decided, oh yeah, I can get all of these paper crafts done by the time the stream starts. That was 2 hours ago. And I made one before I realized this isn't gonna work. They released a ton of these during Crime Fest 2016. There's a lot of them. There's fucking tons of these. This isn't not even all of them, and I printed all of them out, and I have to figure out what to do with them at some point. So, that's the hubris that I have to deal with.
But you know how it is with hubris.
We can't do that. We can't do this on stream. It's gonna take an hour, and we have more things to talk about. Let's actually talk about what we're talking about. I'm very good at speaking. Payday 2 is a video game. You might be surprised at hearing that, but it sure is. It was released by Overkill Software and published by Starbreeze, who, at the time, Starbreeze owned Overkill. Can I have a bite of that glue stick? Yeah, sure. It hit the camera.
Awesome.
So, Payday 2 came out and Starbreeze owned Overkill. But that isn't where all of this starts. We have to talk about Payday the Heist. Payday the Heist is a video game as well. And that's a little bit more, not as surprising to hear about. Payday the Heist was released by Overkill, and I think that was it. I don't think Overkill had a publisher. I didn't look that far into Payday the Heist, I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you. I more so looked into Payday 2 and Starbreeze and Overkill. And because I have an awesome channel point redemption, you might be wondering how much do I actually know about Payday 2? It's like, Star, you're a gamer. How do you know about Payday 2? And that's a very good question. However, I have 684.3 hours of this goddamn video game. And today, I'm gonna be tearing Payday 2 to shreds! As you can currently see, with the hours currently appearing on screen right now, I have a lot of fucking hours in Payday 2. And this is gonna be a little bit chaotic. To shreds, yeah, like this guy who's slowly falling apart. This guy's held together with tape and glue, and it doesn't work, and I think this guy's seen better days. So what are we going to be talking about? We have to talk about Payday 2, but we also have to talk about Overkill Software. We have to talk about Starbreeze. We have to talk about a subsidiary of theirs, Lion Game Lion. We have to talk about Raid World War II. We have to talk about Overkill's The Walking Dead. We have to talk about Valhalla Game Engine. We have to talk about Star VR. We have to talk about what Starbreeze did before Payday 2. There's things to talk about here. There's a lot of things to talk about here. And it's gonna be a bit of a... there's a lot. This stream's probably gonna go on for a few hours. And what better way to start than to just start? I'm really good at this. So, Payday 2, Payday 2. Payday the Heist is a video game. That's the third time I've said that now, and I need to stop saying that. Payday the Heist.
I should say it again, actually.
It requires reiteration that this is a video game we're talking about. Who fucking knew? Payday the Heist came out in like 2011? Maybe that's correct. But again, I don't know much about Payday the Heist, and I didn't care that much to look up information about Payday the Heist, which I probably should have done, but I don't care. All I know is that you have the big secret in it, and that's about as much as Payday the Heist has. Payday the Heist released by Overkill. Overkill is a Swedish-based video game company. And eventually, they got bought out by Starbreeze. Starbreeze goes a little bit back. Starbreeze has a little bit of history behind them. So, does anyone here know Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons? That was a very good music sting.
I do know that one, yeah.
Did you know that game was made by Starbreeze?
Nope.
That's very important, because the people who made Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons do not work at Starbreeze anymore. They made... Give me one moment. I know what it is, but I don't. The developers that worked on Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons at Starbreeze, and released, published by 505 Games, was made by, they later became Hazelight Studios. You know, a small game dev team. They'll never go anywhere. Their founder will never go onto the Game Awards and say fuck the Oscars. And also, they will never make the 2021 best game of the year. It Takes Two. They'll never do that. They'll never fucking do that.
And guys, huh?
Same people. They made Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which was released by Starbreeze, and then the team left Starbreeze. This will become a common trend of everything that comes into Starbreeze's favor will eventually either go away or disappear entirely. This is going to become a recurring theme. And you might be thinking, well, obviously Starbreeze still owns Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, right?
Uh-huh.
505 bought the rights to Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, so Starbreeze doesn't even own it anymore. And what can you do with that? The best thing you could do with Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons is release a sequel called Brother, A Tale of Son. Which is a spoiler if you've never played that game before, but it's been more than a decade since that game came out. You should have expected this.
Can I say a non sequitur real quick tied to Starbreeze? Because I thought their ownership was familiar.
Yeah, what's up?
They also had the publishing rights to Dead by Daylight for
Yes,
a while.
I will talk about. I'll talk about that because that does come up. Starbreeze at one point was the publisher of Dead by Daylight, which is really important.
Yeah, because I remember that being a whole thing back when things were going down for Starbreeze, but that's for later.
That's like 2 years. That's like 2 hours down the line for me right now. So Brothers is a success, but now they don't have the team from that anymore, and so they don't have really that anymore. They don't have that team. Overkill releases Payday the Heist to incredible, well, that was okay. And so they decided to make a sequel on it. And then they got bought out by Starbreeze. Which is really funny because specifically on the Wikipedia entry for Starbreeze, they mention that what happened as well is that Starbreeze became, Overkill became under the umbrella of Starbreeze. Starbreeze was Overkill's parent company, but also a lot of the founders of Overkill had majority stocks in Starbreeze. Let me reiterate that. Starbreeze, who bought out Overkill, now had Overkill as their founders and employees, majority stockholders over Starbreeze.
Oh boy.
I want to question how that works, but
It's capitalism. The fact that anything manages to happen is a fucking miracle.
so Overkill and Starbreeze are now like hand in hand, and they're making Payday 2. And Payday 2 is looking like a very fine video game so far. Also, something that I want to mention about Payday 2 and Payday the Heist, which will be very important, is that those games are made on an engine called Diesel. What is Diesel? Diesel is a video game engine from 2002 from a game development company that doesn't exist anymore, but the people who worked on it worked on Overkill, and so Payday the Heist and Payday 2 run on Diesel. Diesel is an engine made for car games. They modified They modified Diesel so much that you could have a shooter game out of it. And this is very important because Diesel is a fucking awful engine.
Awesome.
It is entirely antiquated in the year 2022, and even the same in 2015, 2014, 2016. And that's important for a few things that we'll be talking about jazz hands. I bring that up now because that will be very important. So, Payday 2 releases, and people like the game. It's a good game. Payday 2 is a good game. It can be a bit mindless, but it's like Left 4 Dead. It's a horde game.
Except instead of zombies, you're shooting cops.
Yes, which is infinitely better because of that reason. So, Payday 2 releases and people like it. And then, one other thing to mention is that Payday the Heist and Payday 2 have heavy references and is heavily inspired by the movie Heat. I don't know how many people have seen the movie Heat. I have, as a matter of fact. Here is the movie Heat on Blu-ray. I've watched this before, and now I can tell you with firm fact that yes, Payday the Heist and Payday 2 is heavily inspired by Heat. And that's it! That's all I can tell you on that part, because that's really it. Payday the Heist has a few references to that movie. On First World Bank, Dallas, this guy,
Space Chunk, that sure is a thing you have said in chat.
My hours on Heat. Approximately 3? This movie's like 3 hours long. There is a line that Dallas can say on First World Bank that is a direct reference to a line said in this movie, which is really cool. And also, Payday 2's first DLC, the Armored Escort DLC, is just the first 15 minutes of this. Literally, the first 15 minutes of Heat is a scene where they are breaking into an armed escort vehicle. They block the road with an ambulance and then use a dump truck to ram it. There are 2 heists in the Armored Escort DLC that involve the blockage of a road with an ambulance and hitting armored vehicles with a dump truck. So, to say that Overkill was inspired by the Heat, I wouldn't say it's an understatement or an overstatement. That's just the statement. That's it. It's cool. And now, I've watched Heat. So obviously, I don't know where I'm going with this. This should be a non sequitur. So Payday 2 is good, and people like it. And so, of course, Starbreeze is like, well, we need to make content for this. We we need to make content for this so we can get more money out of it. So what do we get out of that is the Armored Escort DLC. And then the next DLC after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. You can imagine that Payday 2 is quite a large game. And if you go onto the Steam store for it, you'll see that it has like 80 DLC. And they're still coming out to this day. Literally, a DLC pack came out last week. Sure.
I know, like, some of the DLC for the game, kinda, like, passing familiarity.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about the heist specifically, and I'll make a passing mention for specific DLC packs in particular, such as the H-Free character pack. This is pause for effect, but it's
Wait,
complete earnest.
It took me a second for that to sink in, Jesus.
Ethan and Gila are in Payday 2, and you can play them as characters. H-Free. And the skill set you get out of it is a vape pen.
They do have Jacket from Hotline Miami, though. That's kind of neat.
I think that makes it ultimately decent. But yeah, if you go onto the Payday 2 Steam page, you'll see the H-Free character pack, or whatever it's called. I think it's called like the Ethan and Gila character pack. I have no ill will to Ethan and Gila. I think they're probably fine people. I don't know them. The DLC pack is not good. I don't think either of them have much voice acting work. It's not very good, and the skill set you get out of it is not very good either. It's... yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Payday 2 has a lot of DLC. It has a lot, and it has a lot of crossovers and tie-ins. And it has a main storyline. Eventually it had a main storyline. About 1, 2, maybe about 3 years after the fact, it started to actually get on the train for its main storyline.
And it is certainly a storyline.
Maybe that's being a little bit unfair, because they had the storyline with Hoxton, but then there's like a year gap in between that where nothing happens, really. Like, you could probably make a connection from 2013 to 2018, I think it is, when Payday 2's, like, main development ended. You can make some sort of vague connection. What I really think of is the point where it hit the end game, where it hit specifically the Lock and Load DLC. That's where things really started coming to a T. And there's apparently only like 5 songs in... No, wait, what? Yes, YouTube, keep playing this soundtrack, please. Thank you. There's a lot of crossover events in Payday 2. In the armored escort vehicle, in a secret mission that later just became a normal mission, you steal the Team Fortress 2 sentry gun.
Oh.
Sure. And then they released Go Bank, which is just the bank map from CSGO. And then they have there's a lot. There's a lot, and we'll talk about it as it becomes relevant. Let me swap back over to the table really quickly, so we can talk a little bit.
Is there supposed to be like a Discord side stream or something? Or
I can just stream my OBS. That'll probably be the easiest. Let me do that. There we go.
Thank you.
Come on, Cable. You're just gonna keep seeing shots of my backyard, and we're just gonna have to deal with that because it's blindingly bright out there right now. So, we need to... The first thing we need to go over is 2014. 2014 is really when Payday 2 is taking off a little bit. We have a lot of memorable DLC packs coming out at this point. We have events such as the Big Bank. These pins need to come out if I'm taking off the hat. We have things such as Big Bank. We get introduced to the dentist. We have Hoxton Breakout. But we specifically, what I really want to mention is Crime Fest 2014. Now, if you don't know what Crime Fest 2014 is, which I don't blame you if you don't, Crime Fest is about a week-long event that Overkill runs to announce new content for Payday 2. And they've done this since 2014. I think... Yes. Yes. I think that's correct. Crime Fest 2014 was like the big one. And then they also have their spring break events as well. So you have Payday, you have a Crime Fest, you have spring break. 2014 spring break was... 2014, not spring break, my bad. 2014 Crime Fest was something huge. It was exciting. That's where we got the hype train. And if anyone remembers the hype train, you're probably cringing at what came afterwards. However, let's talk about everything good that came out of Crime Fest 2014, which I'm going to open up the Payday 2 wiki so I can just have a reference point for it, which that means I need to take these gloves off. Let me load up Payday 2 Crime Fest 2014. And, I had something on my mind. Oh, dear God, I forgot about this. I'll talk about that later. So let's talk about all the good things that came out of Crime Fest 2014. We got a few DLC packs, such as the Overkill pack, which added miniguns and rocket launchers.
You know, the kind of things you bring to a stealthy bank robbery.
Yeah. Here, hold on. I have a weird setup for my Chrome. There we go. That looks about as good as it can. Let me get back up to 2014 Crime Fest. I'm still scrolling up, by the way, on the Payday 2 fandom wiki.
Oh, Lord.
So, a few things got announced in Crime Fest 2014. The first big thing... Well, I can't just say the first one. Let me just sort of explain... Let me just sort of list off what came out around this time that I remember. First of all, we had the Hoxton Breakout, which the Hoxton Breakout is... There's a character in Payday the Heist named Hoxton. And in Payday 2, that Hoxton has been replaced with a different Hoxton. And so, they were drumming up that Payday the Heist's Hoxton was in prison. And they were going to break him out of jail. And it was this big event. There was a heist connected to it, the Hoxton Breakout heist. And now Hoxton is back in the team, and the new Hoxton is named Houston. This one is Hoxton, and one of these fuckers is Houston.
I'm sure this is not confusing at all. Oh, sweet Christ.
If you never knew about Hoxton versus Houston, and it was just Hoxton and Houston, cool. That's fine. Jazz hands. What else did they add? They added John Wick. John Wick is a playable character in Payday 2, and he's not voiced by the same John Wick. He is not voiced by Keanu Reeves. I forgot that Keanu Reeves has a name.
You forgot Keanu Reeves.
I forgot that Keanu Reeves is like a real person and they didn't make John Wick up. John Wick is like a person. But as far... I'm quite certain that the John Wick we see in Payday 2 is not Keanu Reeves. He is not voiced by Keanu Reeves. I'm checking now. He's voiced by Dave Fouquet, not Keanu Reeves. It's a pretty good impression of Keanu Reeves, but it's not. You can tell. So Hoxton and John Wick get added to the game, and that's cool. Everyone is happy about this. Everyone is smiling and so happy about this. We get the introduction of perk decks. Here's how Payday 2 works. You have the skill trees. I don't know why I'm doing these hands because I'm not editing this in post. What you have is skill trees. You have 4 skill trees, and you can... Well, no, was it free? Free or 4? Was it 5? Assault, technician, support, stealth, fugitive. Payday 2 started off with 4 skill decks, somewhat vaguely tied to each character that was introduced in Payday 2. Dallas, Houston, Chains, and Wolf. So those 4 have their own... they have their own vaguely themed skill decks, where you have a general assault class who is also a medic. You have your general support player that is like the larger guns with ammo. You have your technician, who is like C4 breach charges and automated turrets. And then you had sort of your stealthy character called Ghost. I remember now. You had Ghost, which was stealth based. So all of your stealth mechanics are in there. How Payday 2 works is that you load into a level, you get told an objective, you do it through a variety of means, either through drilling something, picking open a door and getting into somewhere. You have to carry bags. Carrying bags is a pretty good... There goes that glove. Carrying bags is like a general, like, it's a pretty joked on meme. But like, part of it is you have to move around bags of collectibles to these spots. You have to steal shit, and you have to kill people. Sometimes. Most of the time. And this is done in a variety of ways. There is loud, and there is... Oh shit, Gibson. Hey, thanks for the sub.
Hey, hell yeah.
There's loud, and there's stealth. Some heists can be both loud and stealth. Some heists can be loud only, some heists can be stealth only. I don't know why I'm still doing these hands. So you have loud, which is like, obviously the cops are coming after you and you have to shoot them, and usually the music's pretty banging. And that's the general sort of Payday gist of it. That's like what most people think of when they think of Payday 2. The stealth is a lot more in... The stealth is stealth. You're avoiding guards and civilians, you're doing everything quietly, and you're trying not to get spotted while doing what's essentially kind of the same thing. And then heists can be, as I had mentioned, they could be both. They could be loud only or stealth only. I hope my hands are in the right positions now. They could be one of 3. And that's just how the heist is sort of put together. And that's the big thing. That's the really big thing with Payday, is that some heists are stealth, some heists are loud, and you have to do different things in them based on how it's set up. There's a lot of missions that are just have different sorts of objectives than your standard. Well, to break into this vault, we have to use a huge drill. There's like different things as well. And that is something I'll be talking about when we do the tier list, which shouldn't be too far off now, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. General timeline of Payday 2. I feel like we should get like the general time frame of Payday 2's development. Payday 2 released in 2013, had a beta a few months beforehand, released in 2013, and then over 5 years was its primary development, I'd say. So over 5 years, we see Payday 2's development and finalization of its story and its evolution of gameplay. And we see a lot of DLC getting released. It's a lot of new stuff, a lot of free stuff, a lot of new stuff, paid stuff, a lot of bad stuff. I'm going to be talking specifically a lot about the things that I hate in Payday 2. And matter of fact, let's just segue into that now. Enemies. Oh, this is a good stealth track, actually. Like, this one's good. Let's talk about enemies in Payday 2. Payday 2 has enemies. I need to stop doing this. Payday 2 has a variety, as well as them having the standard cops, like sort of the horde game fodder that you fight. It has special enemies as well. And this is dependent a little bit on what difficulty you're on. There are too many difficulties in Payday 2. There is normal, there is hard, there is very hard, there is overkill, there is mayhem, there is death wish, and then there is death row. Okay? About as clear as mud. What enemies you get out of that is dependent on what difficulty you're on. So, obviously, as you go higher up in difficulty, you get more unhealthy, more lethal guys to shoot. But in terms of why am I having a brain fart now? I can no longer think. The special enemies that you get is dependent on what difficulty you're on. So, let's take the standard shield. A shield is a guy with a riot shield. Wahoo! You can't shoot through the shield, you have to run around him to shoot him. So that immediately changes up your playstyle a little bit. You have to approach an enemy. Why is this one louder? I'm gonna keep talking, and I hope you can hear me. This is the Hotline Miami stealth music, which is probably why it's so loud. So Payday 2 has special enemies, which the first one is a shield, and you have to approach it differently in order to effectively get rid of it. However, there are a few things you can do to also circumvent that. You can equip your loadout in a way to deal with shields. Sniper rifles, shotguns loaded with slug rounds. This is all in Payday 2. I have to make that incredibly clear. We are talking about the video game Payday 2. Okay? Good. If you have a sniper rifle or a shotgun loaded with slug rounds, or if you have a shotgun loaded with incendiary rounds, or if you have just explosives in general, or if you equip your turrets with armor-piercing rounds, then those can go through a shield just fine. But shields also have a really interesting evolution as you go up in difficulties. At one point, they will be replaced with the SWAT shields, which notably have a larger shield that is at an angle so it goes around them a little bit more. So you have to approach that even more differently. You have to put more commitment into approaching them. But you can still do the same thing where if your loadout is set up for it, you can quite easily take care of them. But you have to be specifically. A lot of them like the explosives or the slug rounds and shotguns, like the different shotgun loadouts, are kind of you're sort of looking forward to fighting a lot of shields. Sniper rifles you can be a little bit more versatile with. No, the winter shields are different, and I will be mentioning them in a moment. Because there's the standard shield, which only shows up on like normal and hard. Then there's the SWAT shield, which appears on like every difficulty up. They get reskins based on what difficulty you're at, but they're pretty much the same thing. And then we have the Captain Winters guys, which I cannot mention right now. We will mention that later. We have shields. What is this music? This is still Evil Eye. I hope we get a really scary, dramatic sting when it's about time to talk about Winters. Oh, I hope you're ready. Then we have another enemy type called the Taser. The Taser can stun you, rather than just shooting at you. They can stun you, and if you're stunned for long enough, you go down. What's really cool about the Taser is that it'll make you uncontrollably, continuously fire your weapon. And so the aim of the game is to quickly look around what's around you, because you can't move, find the Taser, and deal with them immediately before you go down. Which is really cool. That's a really cool idea. And the Taser is like an actually cool enemy in how they operate. Because what else happens is that when you get stunned by a Taser, your magazine is instantly reloaded. So they account for you might not having enough ammo to deal with that and circumvent it in a way. Then we have the Cloaker. The Cloaker is the big meme of Payday 2. The Cloaker...
With a really fucking bad sound cue. That's one of the things I know about Payday 2.
The Cloaker, when they spot you, will begin... They're a stealthy-based one. They'll try to take alternate routes, and they'll spawn in alternate ways. And when they spot you, the player, they will begin to charge you with a very instinctual sound cue, which if you play Payday 2 for a good amount of time, will get ingrained in your brain. Payday 2's cloakers will then charge you, and then instantly attempt to down you instantly.
Yeah, they spin kick you or something.
Yeah, they do like a roundhouse kick. But you also have a moment of chance to deal with them before you go down. And also going down from a cloaker does not count towards your total down limit. Which is nice. That's considerate, considering how quickly it can happen. But that is something to be on the lookout for. Then you have the Bulldozer, which isn't a very... On its own, it's not a very interesting special because it's a guy with 1 health. But the way you approach him is different. Bulldozers have a face shield. And obviously, the aim of game is to deal headshot damage, which deals more damage. This should be obvious. This is a video game. You have to break the front faceplate off, and then you can deal headshot damage. So you have to expose yourself in a way to this higher health enemy that can do a lot of damage to you in a short amount of time, take care of that, and then move on. And I actually quite like bulldozers in that regard, because you can also set up loadouts to specifically deal with bulldozers. You have a variety of ways that you can do that. You can have high damage, low rate of fire weapons, or you can have really quick, low damage, high rate of fire ones that you can just hold onto a point and deal with. I made a very funny finger expression there, and we will no longer talk about it. But that was it. We had those 4 enemy types, and that was really it. And in a way, that's all Payday 2 ever really needed, right? Come on, agree with me here. That's all that Payday 2 needed. Because everything that came afterwards is no good. Oh, and snipers. Snipers, I hate snipers. Snipers are at a long range and they deal 50 billion damage to you in a single shot, but they have a laser sight and you can track that. Cool. Those 5 is all that Payday 2 needed. It's all. In 2014's Crime Fest, through redeeming enough hype fuel gallons for the hype train, I think is the wording, they announced that they were going to be adding Captain Winters and SWAT van gun turrets. Captain Winters was supposed to be the first boss of Payday 2. It's not a special enemy, it's a boss. It's more than a special enemy. And then gun turrets was supposed to be a new type of special enemy that were specific to some maps and could appear and you deal with them and then that's it. Maybe. I wasn't really around for Crime Fest 2014. Captain Winters in the gun turret is the worst enemies that they've ever... It's the worst thing that they've ever added to Payday 2.
Awesome.
Let's be completely honest. Let me lay out what this looks like. Gun turrets are... What the gun turret is that a SWAT van will... I just got a ping on Discord. Cool. SWAT vans SWAT vans will drive into a location and then they have a gun, a turret on them, and then that shoots at you. It works in a similar way to a bulldozer, where you shoot the front faceplate off and then you can hit the weak point area. Cool! They introduced it on pretty much every map that they could, retroactively. Every map that they could possibly think of that wasn't designed for gun turrets, mind you. They just threw them in. Diamond Store is a heist where the interior doesn't have that much cover, and they threw a gun turret in front of it. Sure. Whatever, man. And that was fine. Gun turrets were fine when the game first came, when they first came out. However, they would not stay fine. You had a few ways that you could counter gun turrets. First of all, they run out of ammo after firing for a while, for like an extended period of time, and then they have to take a moment to reload. That gives you an opening. Cool. Sure. Additionally, you could hug the SWAT van itself to avoid being shot at. Cool. Sure. Additionally, fire damage could burn through the armor faceplate and hit the weak point, dealing massive amounts of damage, and you would usually kill the gun turret in a really quick amount of time. By the way, gun turrets in Captain Winters took 1 year to release in 2015.
Oh.
So, just in context, when I mentioned fire damage had been added prior, but in 2015. So if you're thinking about specifically Crime Fest 2014, that wouldn't make sense, but they released the Butcher's Barbecue Pack in 2015 before gun turrets were out. Okay? Does that make sense? Gun turrets in Captain Winters came a year later. Got it. Cool. Gun turrets came out, and they were okay. They were just alright. They weren't incredible. They weren't... I don't think gun turrets was what people were really wanting from it. The way they retroactively applied them to new missions, sure, I could see why you want to do that, but it just seemed shoehorned in. It wasn't that great of an idea, if you get what I mean there. Like, if you get what I'm throwing forward, hopefully that makes sense.
Some maps just weren't designed with having a giant fuck-off turret in
No.
mind.
No, they were not. They were very definitely not. But one solace with gun turrets is that they do not respawn. The one gun turret comes in, does its shit, dies. Cool. But yeah, gun turrets were just stationary bulldozers. They were a little bit more annoying to deal with, but they were fine. So they buffed gun turrets. What gun turrets do in modern day Payday 2. If you get too close to the SWAT van, first of all, it shoots out noxious gas that slowly damages you while you're in front of it. Fucking...
Oh.
Sure, you have not missed Winter's talk. Not yet. Fucking... Sure, whatever, you want to prevent that cheese spot that players can do. Gun turrets, now when their first faceplate is destroyed, they retract and repair it and come out with a new faceplate. You have to break the faceplate 3 times before you can actually deal damage to the gun turret. Is this good? They also patched out fire damage, dealing mega damage to gun turrets.
Oh.
So, gun turrets in modern day Payday 2 are so fucking annoying to deal with. You have to deal with them being retroactively added to missions that weren't designed for them. And now they're just way more annoying to deal with. They just slowly deal not slowly, they just deal damage to you. They're worse bulldozers. The thing with bulldozers is that you can at least, like, maybe kite around the bulldozer. With the minigun, with the gun turret, you look at the gun turret looks at you, you exchange damage until one of the two dies. So, wonderful. Unless you want to wait for its ammo to get depleted, which, wahoo, now you've gone through 1 stage of 3. Gun turrets are not good. They're no good. I don't like gun turrets. Gun turrets are bad. And they're annoying.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They're just annoying. And they made them even fucking worse. They made gun turrets even worse when they decided to attach them to helicopters. In random maps, you can have a helicopter have a gun turret attached to it that is like 1 billion miles away from you. And you just gotta kind of fucking deal with it. Fucking boo-hoo the fool right now. You literally just have to worry, like, literally on the biker heist. On day 2 of a biker heist, you're on a train, and 1 billion miles away from you is a helicopter with probably either a sniper on it or a gun turret, and there's no fucking cover in the map at all, so you're just constantly taking plink damage from 1 billion miles away from something that you can probably not even take care of. Because the margin of the weak point is so small that at extreme long ranges, you can completely, you just have to go with guesswork, or you have to bring the RPG along with you.
Which I'm guessing would make it harder to sneak if you wanted to try and go for that.
Biker Heist is loud only, so.
Oh.
Also, I forgot about this.
Oh.
In Payday 2, explosives can be detonated by shooting at them. If you have a grenade, if you have a rocket launcher, those things can be shot out of mid-air, I think, with rocket launchers. Those things can be shot out of mid-air. What is the gun turret constantly doing? Shooting directly at you. When you shoot a rocket, it could hit it as soon as you fire it and blow you up.
That's some Looney Tunes shit.
This happens so fucking much that they added a specific grenade in a DLC pack that doesn't have that issue. They added dynamite, which cannot be blown up by shooting at it. Huh? What?
So,
It's genuinely so confusing. Why? Why?
To fix the problem, they did not address the root issue. They instead just added something that didn't have the problem at all.
And you also have to pay for it. Dynamite comes
Awesome.
from the Western pack, which is paid for, and there is no free alternative to it. When you throw like a grenade, a enemy could just be shooting at you at the same time, and they blow up your grenade. Huh? Grenades and rockets come at such a premium too. They cannot be replenished the same way that ammo can be replenished. And it's just a completely arbitrary thing. There's no way to account for, well, maybe the enemy's just gonna shoot me now, and now that grenade just goes nowhere, blows up in my face, and potentially even kills you. Unless you buy a DLC pack that has dynamite in it. Like, maybe they made a free version of a dynamite. I have no fucking clue. All I know is that it's bad. It's not a good mechanic. It is not fun to have your shot blown out of thin air because of some arbitrary reason that the player cannot account for. The player can hardly account for that other than, well, you cannot cancel throwing a grenade, by the way. When you hit the button to throw your grenade, there is no cooldown, there is no warm-up time, there is no timing on it, there is no canceling it. Once you hit the button to throw the grenade, it throws. And you cannot stop it. Huh? It's genuinely, like, mind-boggling to me that is something that was added, and the solution to that was paid DLC from a grenade that you didn't even get told that's what it does. Dynamite cannot be shot to explode. I don't think I even heard about that until I was looking at the fucking Payday 2 wiki.
That kind of sucks.
And so gun turrets can do that. And that's gun turrets. We have to talk about Captain Winters now. Captain Winters is some bitch boy out of Washington, D.C. that was... This was in 2015, where, like, the story tried to go forward a lot more with Payday 2. What happened was that they... what am I fucking talking about?
Story of Payday 2.
In 2015, they introduced, like, Commissioner Garrett, the new commissioner of the FBI, and he was bringing in his greatest soldiers, Captain Winters. Captain Winters walks into a level, gets owned, and then leaves. That is a huge generalization of what happens with Captain Winters. Captain Winters can only happen on the very hard difficulty and above, and cannot happen in single player. You will see why in a moment. Or you'll hear why in a moment. I can't show you Captain Winters right now. You'll just have to look him up, the little twink bastard. What happens is that in specific levels, Captain Winters can spawn. What Captain Winters does is that he extends the assault period of a wave indefinitely until he is... I cannot say killed, and there's a specific reason for that, but I will just say killed for the time being. What he does is that he comes in with like 8 other shield units. Captain Winters and his 8 other shield units all have these special shields. And what they do is that they spawn in a blob, walk towards a preset location, and then stand there. And that extends the assault wave forever, until you get rid of him. If you look up images of, like, Captain Winters in action, it's fucking hilarious. It's supposed to be, Roman shield squads of, like, where you have people in a circle and then they're just unkillable now. But it's so fucking funny to watch Captain Winters and his 8 little shield blob guys walk into a location and then just sit there. He doesn't move around the map. He spouts off voice lines and just sits there. And all he does is make the current assault wave infinite until you get rid of him. He doesn't do anything else. Everything else about him improving combat AI or like increasing health doesn't happen. That was all myth. That's never what happened with Captain Winters. So you have to deal with like 10 shield units while also doing your job that can shoot back at you. And so what most people I feel like end up doing is we throw over grenades at him and he goes away. When Captain Winter's shield blob guys can die, but Captain Winters cannot die. When Captain Winters reaches 10% HP, he gains invulnerability and then leaves. And then the assault wave ends. I don't like Captain Winters. He's not as egregious as the gun turrets, because he's like a decent idea. The execution is okay, but that was it. Oh yeah, and they have a lot of health and then damage mitigation. And specifically, I remember looking at the Payday 2 wiki and seeing that he was supposed to have damage weakness to explosives and such, but then it just doesn't work.
Oh.
Great! Captain Winters is genuinely like such a pain to deal with that they disabled him in single player. If you're playing with bots, he doesn't appear. Which is okay, I guess that's a decent idea to do, but like it's just Captain Winters was hyped up for a year, and then he came out and he was just he's literally the definition of a wet fart. He shows up when you don't want him to, and then you deal with him and he just leaves. Nothing happens with Captain Winters. It genuinely astounds me that like they hyped up this boss enemy so much, and then he just does nothing. And like Payday 2's story will continue on with Commissioner Garrett and the FBI, but I don't think Captain Winters ever gets brought up ever again. So,
awesome.
Whatever. Little bitch boy. I don't like Captain Winters. They also retroactively added Captain Winters to certain maps, and I feel like their execution is okay at best. The way they are implemented into some maps are better than others, but it's not great all across the board, and I feel like in a lot of them, I'm having hiccups now. It's just strange. Thank you for following. I haven't heard that follow notification in a long time because I had it turned off for some reason. But that's the enemies in Payday 2. Now that we have that baseline out of the way, let's go over the heists, which is the time to swap on over here. Let's go over Payday 2's heists and see which ones are better than the other. I'm going to take off my gloves because I don't have enough magnets for this and I have to use tape. And tape is very annoying to use with these gloves. So, did I ever talk about medics? I forgot that medics exist. They added medics in like 2015, late 2015 Crime Fest. And what they do is that they pick a random target around them that is a bet. When you deal a killing blow on an enemy, a medic will heal them to full health. And this can be any enemy. It could be a bulldozer. It could literally be anything. Anything around them that is about to die, like that if you deal a killing blow to it, they can negate all that damage and then heal them. It's a little bit cute because you do the Inspire animation, which is like a skill you can get in Payday 2 is called Inspire, which allows you to revive teammates from a distance. And medics do the same thing, and I think that's actually really cute. But they never, I don't think they ever accounted for the fact that medics could heal medics. And then by the time by the time their healing cooldown ended, a medic could revive a medic and then chain revive and then chain revive. Medics are decent. I think they're a clever way of beefing up other units where it's like, oh, well, now they're not dead. Maybe you expected them to be, especially if it's like bulldozers and tasers and such. I think they're fine. And then Overkill decided, well, in 2014 they added the Death Wish difficulty, which was supposed to be the newest. Oh god, I forgot to talk about the fucking difficulties. We'll do that right now. They added Death Wish, which was a difficulty that was higher than Overkill, and it was supposed to be the new highest difficulty. And as a result, they added a new unit called the Skulldozer. And these are specifically units that are under the Gensec name. Gensec will be coming back more times. And matter of fact, I remember that so much because I printed out Gensec, a little logo of theirs, and put it onto a key card that I used to get onto my high school bus. And I thought that was always cute. And to be fair, that was. Because Gensec key cards are something that you have to pick up in some missions. So you have Death Wish, and they added Skulldozers. Skulldozers don't use shotguns, they use machine guns. They use LMGs, and so they can deal much more damage in a quicker amount of time. So you have to deal with that. Cool. In 2017, maybe 2016, they added Crime Spree. Crime Spree is a unique game mode where you go from heist to heist with adding modifiers, like with raising difficulty of modifiers. And specifically, they added medic bulldozers and minigun bulldozers, and that's all I will say about those two. You kind of know what they are. They don't appear in any other difficulty, though. They only appear in Crime Spree. Luckily enough.
Small mercies from a game that sounds like it generally has none.
So, for a while, people started to notice that there was a pretty bad difficulty gap between Overkill and Death Wish. Death Wish was a pretty brutal difficulty if you weren't ready for it. It was hard to train for it. And so, an idea started to float around the Payday 2 community about a difficulty in between those two to act as a stepping point. Cool. That sounds like a good idea. I wonder how Overkill can execute that one. Well, they did. They added Mayhem, which is a difficulty between Overkill and Death Wish, which is sort of a Death Wish light. Cool! They did it! And then they added One Down. One Down is a difficulty above Death Wish, and it has the gimmick that Payday 2's down counter, you can get down to maximum of 4 times. In One Down, you can only go down once. And it's also even harder than Death Wish. It's not just Death Wish, but with One Down. It's harder than Death Wish, and also with One Down. So they fixed the problem of Overkill between Death Wish, but then added an even harder difficulty after that. Is this making any sense? And then, they realized that One Down was too hard. So what did they do with One Down? They deleted it. Gotcha. Yes. They changed One Down to be the same thing, but it was now called Death Row, and it's had the same difficulty. Like, it was the same difficulty as One Down, but you could go down for 4 times. Cool. They added One Down as a modifier that you could apply to every single difficulty. So, rather than just having normal, hard, very hard, overkill, mayhem, death wish, and then One Down, you could have all of those, but all of them can use the One Down modifier, which is cool. That's genuinely a cool way of doing it. Payday 2 has difficulty achievements. When you beat a heist on a specific difficulty, you get an achievement for it. This was added in Death Wish. When you beat a heist on Death Wish, you got an achievement for that Death Wish completion. Cool. Of course, when they added Mayhem, they also added difficulties achievements for Mayhem. Cool. Then, they also, because One Down, which would later become Death Row, is harder, of course, they added difficulty achievements to that. So if you beat it on One Down, or what would become Death Row, cool, you got an achievement for that. So each heist currently has 3 difficulty achievements tied to it. If you beat a heist of a higher difficulty, it gives you all of the lower ones, by the way. So if you beat a heist on Death Wish, you get the Mayhem one. Cool. I'm being followed. Oh, hello. I see MapLabs folks are finding my stream, which is extremely funny. I don't know how people find me online nowadays, but whatever. And then when they added Death Row, they replaced One Down with Death Row. Playing Death Row with the One Down modifier also gave you an achievement. Additionally, when they added One Down, they added difficulty achievements for the rest of the difficulties. So Normal has a difficulty achievement, Hard has one, Very Hard, Overkill, Mayhem, Death Wish, Death Row with One Down. Every heist in Payday 2 has 8 difficulty achievements. When they added that, I logged on to Payday 2 and got 300 achievements instantly.
Sweet fucking Christ.
How? There are over 1,400 achievements in Payday 2.
The achievement economy is in shambles.
Payday 2 isn't like a fucking, like, you go onto Steam and this game has 10,000 achievements because it's just an achievement farming game. This is Payday 2, a video game that I'm talking about right now. It has over 1,400 achievements. How does this happen? All you needed to do was keep the Death Wish achievements, have a One Down achievements. That's all you really needed to do? And then they added achievements for the rest of them. Literally, Payday 2 has so many achievements that if you get 1,000 achievements, that they give you a skin that you can put on all of your weapons. Yippee. So that's difficulties out of the way. Let's talk about heists. Because Payday 2 has heists in them. And I'm going to be putting them up on this board now. Okay? This is purely based on my opinions. This tier list that I found only goes up to the White House. It does not include the after heists, which I think is fine, because I think all of the heists that came after White House are criminally okay. I think they're just fine. I think they are literally as okay as you can imagine, and they're not that much else. Anyway, what do I have in my hand? This one is Counterfeit. That is kind of blurry, but you can see it enough. In 2015, Payday 2 started to re-add heists that were from Payday the Heist. And so this was their classic line of maps. And they, reimagined them for Payday 2, gave them that Payday 2 flair. And all of them are generally pretty good. And Counterfeit is decent. I won't say it's incredible. I'm actually gonna say, let me grab some tape. Because again, all of these are gonna have to go up with tape. There's no stopping this. Fuck all elephant heists. Trust me, I've got a lot of opinions on elephant heists, which we'll talk about. Counterfeit is like, okay. It's a B tier heist. Counterfeit is good. I think it's a good heist. I don't like the outdoors section of it. And also, I don't like the leading along of stealth into loud. I feel like that's a little bit awkward. Because Counterfeit is a loud-only heist, but you start it in stealth, and you get strung on so much in stealth until you're supposed to lose it. But you can cheese it and technically do it stealth. Video games. I think it's okay. It's like okay. It's got a lot of it's technically infinite. This heist could go on for an infinite amount of time because what you're doing is that you're in California and you're breaking into the houses of these two people who run a massive like money fraud operation. They have like a printing press and everything, and you have to steal that printing. Like you have to steal specifically the press that they use for it. But you can also just print counterfeit money and get money out of that. So it's technically infinite until you stop. So, cool. Which one is this? This is one of the transport heists. Grab my tape. Has there been a heist involving crypto yet? I don't believe so. I know the Payday 2 Twitter account has posted in response to someone stealing every NFT in the world, which is extremely on brand. I don't think so. Next one up is Transport Train Heist. This is the one where you steal the Team Fortress 2 sentry gun. If that makes any sense at all. This was originally a secret heist that you could only get through finding this classified document in one of the transport missions. There's like 5 transport missions and then transport train heist. And that's how you get it. It's a secret mission. It was until it became not secret and you can just select it and do it. Because obviously that makes more sense in a way. This has a lot of fun history in it. This was originally this heist was originally loud only, but then someone proved that you can do it stealth, and so it just got a stealth tag on top of it while making it a little bit workable for stealth. I think the stealth on this heist fucking sucks. It's obviously not designed for stealth, and it's a pain to do it on stealth. It's not designed for stealth, it's designed for loud. Which is why it's like a lower B. I will probably reorganize this as I put one on there. But Train Heist is fun and it's loud, but it's not fun in its stealth. This is a problem that we'll be seeing a lot as this list grows. Payday 2 has a really hard time making missions with both loud and stealth aspects interesting between each other. And that's just something that we deal with. On a lot of heists, stealth is better than loud. On a lot of heists, loud is better than stealth. I think the best heists in Payday 2 are the ones that specifically focus on either loud or stealth, not stealth and loud. Which, let's see if I've got one on here. Aftershock. Oh, dear God, Aftershock. What's the name of the CEO of Overkill Software? It's Almir something.
I think like Listo or something?
That seems correct. Almir Listo, one time in, I think 2014 or 2013, stated that Payday 2 will not ever have microtransactions. It has a lot of DLC, but it doesn't have microtransactions. In 2015, they added safes, which you can buy a drill for to get skins out of. Exactly like CSGO or Team Fortress 2. They promised, Almir Listo specifically promised, that wasn't ever going to happen. They announced that during Crime Fest 2015. 2015 was a fucking dire year to live in as a Payday 2 fan. Not only did they add the gun turret, Captain Winters, a bunch of other things that are debatably not good. Maybe not debatably, but very much not good. And then microtransactions. Aftershock is the tie-in mission for those microtransactions, where you go to Los Angeles after an earthquake has happened. Your contractor Vlad is sending you in, and you have to recover the safes that are the microtransaction from there. This is genuinely the funniest fucking mission in the entire game, because it's the tie-in mission for microtransactions. And you want to know the best part? It's like a low A. It's a loud-only heist. It's genuinely... Its combat areas are genuinely kind of fun to play in. And it's got a fun twist of using a van to move around safes. If it wasn't a tie-in for microtransactions, maybe I would have liked it more. But it's an A. I did steal the homeless man's knife, and I do have that achievement and melee weapon.
That's fucked up.
He wasn't using it. I think probably because he probably accidentally died in an explosion. What do I have? Meltdown. I can't talk about Meltdown yet. I cannot talk about Meltdown yet. Meltdown is for later. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I can talk about this. Jewelry store. Jewelry store is it's baby's first Payday 2 mission. It's genuinely so simple in how it works. You go into the jewelry store. You break the cases. You steal the jewelry. You leave. You can do it in stealth and loud. It's such a small little map, and it can be perfected really easily. It is the map to play on if you are new to the game. Which is why it goes into C tier. Because it's literally just okay. Literally, it's the baby map that you play. You play Jewelry Heist to learn about how the game works. Not to get money, not to level up. You play it to learn how the game works. And that's it, because it's a super simple idea. It introduces a variety of concepts to you. It introduces bags and tying down civilians and answering guard pagers. It's literally the tutorial level. Before Payday 2 had tutorials. Payday 2's tutorials came like 3 years after its game's release. Like Team Fortress 2. There's specifically... I can't just pick one at random here. I have to find a specific one in here. Because it's related to Jewelry Store. While I'm looking for it, that is a blank piece of paper that I can throw away. Where is it? Where is it? It is in here. I know it. That one we can go over in a moment, because here it is. Ukrainian job. Payday 2 used to have a mechanic called pro heists. Certain heists and certain variations of heists could be pro only. What pro means is that if you fail the heist, you have to start over from the very beginning.
Oh.
Not even. It kicks you out. How Payday 2 sometimes gives you heists is that it'll randomly show up on the map. And those are free to get. If you want the other ones, though, you have to pay offshore money to get. To, like, play them immediately. What's really fun about that is that at a certain point, that doesn't fucking matter at all. But for someone starting off, a pro heist, you cannot lose. or else you're done. Ukrainian Job is the pro version of Jewelry Store, and it's even more simple than Jewelry Store. Instead of stealing jewelry, you drill a safe for 3 minutes, pick up a tiara, and leave. It's literally the same map, same layout, but an even more just fucking so simple objective that you can beat it in 30 seconds with the right tools. Which is why it goes down to D tier, because it's a pro heist? It's Jewelry Store. I think in 2016 they removed pro. All heists are now just their heists. There were a bunch of different variations of that. Some of them that I'll be pulling up from here are different in a way, but eventually they removed pro heists. All heists are now just heists. And that's objectively better. What's on here? Well, I've got one on every area except for S and F, so I say it's time for us to get our first F tier heist. Do you remember when I mentioned that Payday 2 had a CSGO promotion crossover?
Yep.
Here it is. GoBank is the worst heist in the game. And I will stand by that until I die. GoBank is horrendous to play on. The layout sucks and loud. Its stealth fucking sucks because you can randomly lose stealth. And then on the higher difficulties of GoBank, there's even less cover than there would be. It's so stupid. Genuinely, GoBank is the stupidest heist. Stealth sucks. You have infinitely spawning civilians that will just wander into the bank randomly. And if they notice that the bank is empty, they will go alert and try to call the cops. And then randomly, you get a phone call from a guy threatening you to throw a money bag over a wall, or else you will also lose stealth. That's a random chance. GoBank, and the phone call, the phone specifically, keeps randomly ringing, and if you don't pick up the phone, the police are called. What? This is genuinely one of the stupidest heists in the entire game. It's genuinely not fun to play on loud, and it's genuinely not fun to play on stealth. Stealth has too much arbitrary bullshit put into it, and loud is just unenjoyable. 75% of the layout in GoBank doesn't matter on loud. It's just... It's the worst heist in the game. Genuinely, it's the worst. Now, give me one moment here. I need to pull up a reference image for me. Okay, I see. But, yeah. GoBank is genuinely one of the worst heists. It is the worst heist in the game. Because it's just so arbitrary. Hello? It came out in, late 2013 anyway. So, very early days for Payday 2. So, who knew?
Honestly, that kind of feels like the era of when Valve was, actually doing crossover shit with their games.
They were doing a lot of it. And Payday 2 Overkill ate up any opportunity they could. That's where No Mercy came from. No Mercy is No Mercy from Left 4 Dead. And they even have Left 4 Dead characters in the No Mercy heist, in Payday the Heist, that are voice acted by their respective actors. Which is cool, and they didn't bring that back for Payday 2.
Aw.
What else do I got on here? Oh, here we are. Let me get the tape for this. We have another launch map. 4 stores. So 4 stores. The gimmick is that there are 4 stores.
I see.
And you have to steal stuff from them. Stealth is so awkward in this. The best way that I ever found to do stealth in 4 stores is to go into one of the stores, preferably the China shop because it has the least visibility with the outdoors. Hope that the random chance loot spawns in there of the minimum that I need, and then leave. And that's all that 4 stores is. It's like that in Loud too, except you kind of have free access to all 4 stores. It's genuinely another jewelry store. Genuinely another jewelry store. Go Bank is the heist where they send in the army on you. Because on Loud, they specifically mention once you're in the escape sequence that they're sending in the military and you need to leave. The military is not a thing that shows up in Payday 2, by the way. So, cool. Awesome. Great. The other heist where there's supposed military is Murky Water, which we'll be talking about Murky Water in a moment here. What is this music? Why is it so loud? Oh, I know what this is. The time limit escape that only happens for Go Bank. There's a few heists that have time limit escapes as well. Mostly all of the getaway missions. And on some heists on Loud, you have a random chance of your getaway vehicle being cut off, and you have to get a new one. And those are all technically on time limit escapes. There's a few other time limit escapes as well. Whenever you fail a stealth-only heist, you immediately go into a time limit escape. So there's a few different ways of... There's a few different missions that do time limit escapes. Go Bank is one of them, and they're not good. Who knew Payday bars had so much lore? Hey, speaking of a bar, look at what I picked up. The biker heist. The biker heist... So what's really funny about Payday 2 is that Payday 2 is on the diesel engine, as I mentioned. The diesel engine was made for cars. They modded the diesel engine to make a first-person shooter out of it. Then they later added cars back in. Cars aren't great in Payday 2. They're like very okay. The biker heist has specifically motorcycles, and they fucking suck. They're just really bad. And that's where the biker heist goes. It's not that great. That's all I can say about it. It's like criminally okay. The day 2 is kind of interesting if you've ever played CTF Convoy on TF2. It's that. Except on only one train, and they put fucking gun turrets on it for some reason. Pause for effect. That's all I can say about Biker Heist. I don't like Biker Heist. Really don't like Biker Heist. Which, if we bring up vehicles in Payday 2, we really gotta put in Patient Zero of Payday 2 vehicles. So let's see if I can find it here. It's here somewhere. I thought I set it aside. Maybe that was something else. Maybe it's in this pile. I have a lot here. Here it is. So, I believe in 2014 they announced... No, in 2015 they announced Car Shop. Car Shop was the first implementation of vehicles in Payday 2. Here is Car Shop. Do you like Vlad? I'll have to think about that for a moment, because I don't think much about the actual contractors in Payday 2. Car Shop is the second worst heist in Payday 2.
Awesome.
It is a stealth-only heist that you can't beat in stealth. The concept is cool. You steal luxury cars from a car shop. You blow up a road to access a tunnel to drive them into. And that's where stealth ends. Cars are genuinely unfun to play in Payday 2. And additionally, on higher difficulties, the amount of time you have to get to your getaway area lowers on what difficulty you're on. And so you have even less room for error on the Payday 2 cars, which are very much not great, mind you. Payday 2 vehicles are extremely okay. And that's it. Some of them are really cool. Like, some of their implementations are really cool. Car Shops sucks. Car Shop is genuinely such an awkward heist to play on. And I don't like it. I don't like Car Shop. Car Shop goes down there because I genuinely despise Car Shop. Car Shop, like, maybe some of these biker heists I would probably play willingly. I don't want to play these willingly. Not ever. Not ever. No. No, no, no. You know, we've been at a little boiling point of bad heists. Let me start pulling up some of the best heists in Payday 2. Let's see. I'll do the first one that I spot out here. Also, I really quickly want to check on something. That's about on there. I have a separate thing. Oh, here we are. I got my first S tier. Our first S tier. It's not the best heist in Payday 2. As a matter of fact, I'll specifically make that point clear that I don't think this heist is the best in Payday 2, but it is certainly one of the best. And that is Hotline Miami. The Hotline Miami crossover heist is genuinely one of the best heists in the game. It is the perfect version of Loud in Payday 2. It is a Loud-only mission. It's 2 days. And it is genuinely both of them are really well designed arenas. One of them is a bit of a holdout. The other one is a continual push and then a holdout. And it is genuinely so good. And the Hotline Miami music, Evil Eye, and I forget the second one, but I really shouldn't, are genuinely the two best tracks in the game. Hotline Miami is one of the best maps in the game. I would go as far to say probably the best Loud-only heist in the game. Does that seem reasonable? I think Hotline Miami is one of the best Loud-only heists in the entire game. Genuinely. This is genuine. I'm not like fucking memeing with you. The Hotline Miami map is genuinely one of the best maps in the game. Let's pull up.
I can believe it.
Because who fucking knew that this would be so good? And it's the first stepping point into the Hoxton breakout. Like, Hoxton's breakout, like, lineage. This is when the dentist is introduced. And this is, like, one of the first heists that the dentist has you do to lead to Hoxton getting broken out of prison. Cool. Let's put up a very okay heist. That is Brooklyn 1010. Brooklyn 1010 is one of the John Wick heists, which wasn't added when John Wick was added into the game. No, that came about maybe 2 or 3 years later. So, cool. Brooklyn 1010 is okay, yeah, Hot Pursuit. Evil Eye and Hot Pursuit are genuinely the 2 best tracks in the entire game. Brooklyn 1010 is a really simple concept. You have this alleyway, and you have to defend someone as they move along from point to point. Additionally, you have to defend your building from enemies as well. And it's genuinely pretty cool, until they ruin it with a gun turret. At the end, there is a gun turret, and it sucks.
Because we can't have nice things.
The gun turret in Brooklyn 1010 is genuinely, I think, one of the worst gun turrets in the entire game. It's just thrown into a courtyard, and you have barely any cover. And if you do have cover, it's probably too close to the gun turret, and it'll spew out its noxious fart gas, like in Fortnite. It genuinely brings Brooklyn 1010 from being like, maybe an A tier, or even a B tier. It's like a C. The gun turret really brings it down. I don't like the ending portion of Brooklyn 1010. I think its lead-up moments are really fun. The ending... I'm getting loud. I'm sorry. The ending sucks. There we go. Okay, next. Next. We have another Vlad mission. If you don't know who Vlad is a contractor in Payday 2. Who gives you a lot of missions related to like his business of like protection and such. 4 Stores is about something. Ukrainian Job is about getting a tiara. Or any of these other ones, Vlad missions. Aftershock is about getting safes for Vlad. Vlad's crazy, and that's his entire character. He's also Russian. Mall Crasher is a loud-only heist where a mall has failed, is refusing to pay protection money to Vlad, and so you go in and destroy the mall.
Oh.
It's like a C. It's so fucking boring. You do this, like, if you want to play Mall Crasher more than twice, you already have an idea of, like, okay, this is the most optimal way of doing it. I don't know, it's, like, okay. It's very much okay. It's just okay. I don't like it. I don't think it's great. It's another baby mission. Like, it's a baby mission for Loud. If you want to do a Loud only heist, and you want to, like, literally my first ever Loud Death Wish heist was on Mall Crasher because it's just so simple. It's so fucking simple. And so then you burn down the entire mall. There's 2 spots that you can just burn down. Yeah, that'll show them when their mall isn't standing anymore. Anyway, next. Next. Fucking Goat Simulator. Payday 2 had a Goat Simulator crossover in, 2017.
That's news to me. Jesus.
And do you want to know where the heist goes for me?
Where? Oh dear. That bad, huh?
Goat Simulator is a paid DLC.
Ah.
Goat Simulator fucking sucks. Day one, you have this huge city, and you're supposed to drive all around it doing these tasks to get the goats. And then in day two, you drive for 75% of a mission, and the rest of the 25% of it is a mediocre holdout section. Goat Simulator, I can't fucking stand why they decided, yeah, in 2017, Goat Simulator is very popular right now. We're gonna have a crossover event for it. Maybe it came out in 2016. I don't remember.
Want me to look that up?
Sure. I would appreciate it. I know it's either late 2016 or 2017.
Goat Simulator itself came out in 2014.
I'm looking for the DLC.
Okay.
Like, if you just, like, appendix Payday 2 to that, it should give you something.
2016.
Yeah.
January 14th to be precise, so it has been over 6 years.
January?
Yes.
Oh, God! 2015 really was a shitty year for Payday fans. Because right after Crime Fest, they announced the Goat Simulator DLC! Now I fucking remember. I genuinely did not even think about that. I must have fucking repressed that memory. Holy shit, how does this game exist? How? 2 years later!
You are becoming the Joker as this goes on. And for anyone curious, the DLC is on Steam for $2.99.
I'm pretty sure it came out for $7 when it first released, because it's a legacy DLC, which means that it's reduced in price, and then you can just buy all the DLCs for like $20. Oh, the hours are showing up. This is where I can say Goat Simulator is an awful heist. It's genuinely one of the worst heists in the game. It's down there for a reason. Who fucking cares about Goat Simulator in 2016? Who cares about it now? Genuinely, this is one of the worst, like, aged heists in the entire game, and its gameplay loop isn't even fun. The things that you have to do to get the goats are completely arbitrary and hidden out of the way. Day one can take you half an hour easily if it's your first time doing it, and you're not gonna have fun doing it. You're gonna be driving around an entire goddamn city looking for these goddamn goats, and then day two is a mediocre holdout section, when then the rest of it is just driving. You're just driving around. And literally, the holdout section is so bad because you have to be constantly doing shit at the same time.
So, I'm looking at the reviews for this. I'm looking at one from when this was released, and it says that, this is just one heist worth more than the base game.
Worth more?
That's dire. And someone else describes it as the most hated DLC in Payday 2's history, and yeah. I can believe it.
It literally came out of a wake. Because I'm pretty sure there was a Goat Simulator safe added as well. Yeah, there was. There was a Goat Simulator safe added. That was in part of a microtransaction system. You didn't have to pay for it, I think. But it just goes to show how much being in 2015 for a Payday 2 fan fucking sucks. Because by the time October came around and they announced Crime Fest, and everything that showed up was just a massive gut punch. Okay, and then they added Goat Simulator.
I'm looking a little bit more. I'm trying to get price history.
I'm quite certain it was like $8 when it came out, because that was the usual price for Payday 2 heist.
$6.99.
That's about right. Yeah, $7.
I'm trying to see what Payday 2's price was when it released, though.
$30? It should not have had that much paid DLC. That's for sure.
$4.99.
Payday 2?
On January 14th, 2016, specifically.
Oh, because there was, I think there was like a special going on, and so it was discounted in price, I believe.
Yeah, it was back at like $20 after that, but it's still very funny that for a second this fucking shitty DLC was worth more than the base game.
I thought they were talking about specifically that this shitty DLC was better than anything else in the base game. But no, the fact that you had to pay more for the Goat Simulator DLC over the base game!
Oh yeah, that's what they meant. They meant monetary value.
I didn't even think about... This is my Jokerification. I'm gonna go
I am so glad
fucking
to be
insane.
here to
This is,
provide
I'm
extra-
genuinely gonna go fucking insane. This is my Jokerification arc.
Oh, I am so sorry to have imparted this information upon you, but also I feel like it's important to know.
Thank you. It really is. Calling it enlightening is an understatement.
This is like some bloodborne eldritch knowledge. You're about to get eyes on the inside.
Anyway, Panic Room is a good heist. Panic Room is another classic heist from Payday the Heist. And it's genuinely fun in Payday 2. It captures the same sort of fast-paced energy that Panic Room had in Payday the Heist. And it keeps all of the fun shit from Payday the Heist. You literally have to blow up a building so a helicopter can come in with a huge magnet, attach the magnet to a panic room filled with money and cocaine, and then airlift it out. It's genuinely a really cool heist, and it's only an A tier and not an S tier because the part where you have to shoot a bunch of snipers kind of fucking blows. Because you kill like 2 snipers and then you wait 30 seconds for 2 more to spawn. If that wasn't in, this would be up here. It would be contending with Hotline Miami. But it trips over itself at just that one moment. So close to greatness. We're not there. But it's an okay heist. I like it. It's pretty good. What do I got? What do I got? What do I got? Can I pick out another Vlad heist? I can't do that one yet. Not yet, not yet. Not that one. Can't do that one. I want to pick out like another Vlad one. Because Space Drunk specifically mentioned that she loves Vlad for being insane. And here I am fucking destroying every single one of Vlad's missions right now other than Aftershock. Watch Dogs is a Hector mission. Reservoir Dogs is not. The Yacht Heist is not. The White House is not. Cook Off is not. Golden Grin is not. Do I not have any more Vlad heists other than this one? Watch Dogs, The Bomb.
Space Junk did say, oh no, Vlad being fun doesn't mean his jobs have to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, no. There is another Vlad one. Here, hold on. I know what it is. I need to find it. Here it is. All of the Christmas missions in Payday 2 are Vlad missions. The first of which is White Christmas. How White Christmas works is that Vlad's brother's airplane has crashed in the forest, and he was carrying cocaine. So you have to go into the forest to find all the cocaine. So what you have to do... Go ahead.
I'm gonna be right back. I have to go yell at someone real fast.
Great.
For saying things.
Awesome. So, how White Christmas works is that when you load into the map, you have to first escort Vlad's brother to a helicopter, and then you can run around the forest and get presents, and then you collect those presents. The presents have random items in them. They could be worthless, they could have like junk, they could have cocaine in them, which is what you're looking for. And then it's infinite until you leave. Like, it's an infinite heist. White Christmas is like... I'd say it's like a B. It's alright. It's an alright heist. I don't like to replay it as much as like the other Infinite ones. But it's alright. I think it's got a decent layout and such. I think it's genuinely okay. It's a genuinely okay heist. We need to get rid of all the other Christmas message. Almir's toast is fucking stupid. The amount of in-jokes with the toast in Payday 2 is fucking stupid. And that's all I have to say on that. Where's my other Christmas ones? There's 2 other Christmas ones. Santa's Workshop. Santa's Workshop is that you go into a warehouse that is producing cocaine, and you hold up the people packaging the coke, and then you have to defend them, and then you throw the cocaine into one of 2 pipes that just open on a timer, and they flip-flop back and forth. And you have to do that, and also a random safe can come in, and everyone has to stick around that. I'm pretty sure that came from Lab Rats, but... this heist is like... This heist is dumb. Here, hold on, give me 1 second. I don't like the heist. The heist, like... It plays weirdly. I don't like the warehouse section. It plays really awkwardly. It's no good. It's no good. Oh dear God, we have so many to go. Let's grab another S tier. Okay, let's talk about the best heist in the entire fucking game. In all of it. Every single one. Every single heist in Payday 2 cannot compare to this heist. Which, when I find it in this pile, I'm gonna have to keep, talking, aren't I? This heist is, like, this heist is literally, like, the golden pony of Payday 2 in terms of, like, level design. In terms of just being a really good fucking heist. And I can't find it.
Okay, I'm back. I yelled at Sophie for something, and she described me as sounding the angriest I've ever sounded in my life.
Great. You're coming back at the perfect time, because we are talking about Shadow Raid. Shadow Raid is the best goddamn heist in Payday 2. Let the name be known. Shadow Raid is the best fucking heist in Payday 2, because it nails the stealth-only aspect of Payday 2. It is literally the first stealth-only heist in Payday 2, and it is the best heist in all of Payday 2. It fucking works so well, because the map is literally a sandbox. You have the outdoor courtyard. You have the indoor warehouse. It is so cool, because you can approach the heist in so many different ways, and you can try out so many different things. The first time I did Shadow Raid was literally, I was too scared to go into the warehouse, so I would just stay in the courtyard, and I was still able to beat it. There's so many ways that you can play with and experiment, and Shadow Raid is great.
I'm worried at some point you're gonna slip up and say Raid Shadow Legends.
Shadow Raid is so good. Shadow Raid is genuinely the best heist in the entire game because it nails what Payday 2 is in terms of stealth. It's the perfect stealth game. Literally, it's the perfect heist in Payday 2. Because you have to be so methodical in it. And literally, it is so well designed. You cannot fail in Shadow Raid unless it's your fault. There's only one random event that happens in Shadow Raid, and it is minuscule. You have a chance of either some more loot being introduced into the level, or some more guards come in. Which... that's perfectly fine, because it's announced, it's slow, it's methodical, you know what's happening, Bane even tells you what's going on, and it is genuinely... Shadow Raid is the best heist in the game. I will stand this ground. Shadow Raid is the best heist in Payday 2 because it is the perfect sandbox. You can go into Shadow Raid in so many different ways and come out the same that it's tremendous. This is the best heist in Payday 2. And I will stand by that forever. How? How did they get away with that? Genuinely the best heist in Payday 2. I will stand by that because it's genuinely like perfect in terms of like, here's all of the stealth mechanics in Payday 2. Here's how you can operate with them. Here is an entire playground for them. And it works so well. It's such, like, because if you fail Shadow Raid, it's your fault. Everything you have to do is so methodical, and a single slip-up could end your game. But it's all your fault, and it's so well designed to be that. And it's got so much, like, fun stuff with it. Shadow Raid is the best heist of the game, and that's where we will leave off on, because otherwise I'm just going to keep talking about Shadow Raid.
Please look forward to the sequel stream in which Star does nothing but talk about Shadow Raid for an hour.
And I will somehow never slip up and say Raid Shadow Legends. It's Shadow Raid, not Raid Shadow. Shadow Raid. Payday 2 stealth feels like it was only works properly when the maps were made for it. Yes! That's the issue with Payday 2, is that when they have combo loud and stealth heists, one of them must suffer. The loud's either going to suck or the stealth's going to suck. And it's usually the stealth that is punished for that. Except in one case. And let me pull it out. There is one heist that nails being both a stealth heist and a loud heist. One fucking heist, and if I can find it in my pile, which is no longer a pile, it's all like spread out, but I can't find it. Where is it? Is this it? No. Where is it? 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 I can't find it.
Oh dear.
But I want to pull it out while this conversation is still relevant. Of like the folly of Payday 2, where stealth has to be better than loud, or loud has to be better than stealth. But there is exactly one heist that I feel manages to pull it off, and I can't find it. Here it is! And it's not going to be the one you're expecting. It is not going to be the one you're expecting. This heist made me buy an entire album for it.
Wow, that's high praise.
The Alesso heist. The fucking crossover heist with a DJ is one of the best heists in the entire game. How does this happen? The Alesso heist is genuinely one of the best heists in the game because it nails doing stealth and doing loud. Because the common pitfall that happens in Payday 2 with stealth is that you're doing something more boring than loud. It's not exciting to do it stealth rather than loud, because with loud, it's explosions. I feel like the one heist that perfectly encapsulates the stealth versus loud problem is Big Bank. Because Big Bang stealth is really boring compared to its loud, which we'll talk about once we get to it. But genuinely, in the Alesso heist, you do the same things in loud and stealth. You have to get the C4 out of these specifically marked storage closets. Then you gotta bring them to the basement. You have to use a forklift. You have to move the forklift by driving it into the right spots so you can reach the ceiling. Alesso heist is one of the best heists in the game, and it uses vehicles.
Wow.
This is how much high praise that the Alesso heist is getting from me, because it has vehicles, and I'm calling it one of the best ones of the game, because the vehicles are so enclosed in this little space, and they're used in such a creative way of being like another access point to these areas. that you need to get up to. Then you go back up, you go to the pyrotechnics room, and you do it in rhythm to the music. You have to, well, not to the music. You have to, it's like if Simon Says, essentially. The announcer will tell you which button to push, you push it, and then the pyrotechnics will light up. Because this is happening during a concert, and you need to mask the explosion. So when the pyrotechnics go off, you set off the explosions. And so you...
Smart.
And then you go back down, you steal the money, and depending on your loud or stealth, that changes. In stealth, you have to put it in a different spot, but in loud, you just airlift it out of there. But it's so good. You do the exact same thing in loud and stealth. There's no boring option because both loud and stealth are doing the same things ultimately. And to make it even better, on stealth, when you complete stealth, you can't just leave. Instead, you go into a specific storage closet where then you take off all of your gear and you, of course it's a time skip, but you wait until the concert is over and then leave with the crowd. And it's genuinely really cool because you can still get caught technically because you still have like all your guns and such on you. But you have to maneuver around a maze of people, literally, because there will be like crowds and groups of people that you can't walk through. You have to move around them. And it's genuinely so cool. And it's the only time in Payday 2 where that happens. And it's on the Alesso heist. The Alesso heist in Payday 2 made me buy the Alesso album. That's how good it was. How did they get away with that? Literally, the pitfall in every single like Payday 2 heist is that one option is boring and the other option is more exciting. Some of the other maps also have essentially the same things happening, but they're just not as fun. The fact is, the Alesso heist has a mechanic in it that is obviously loud, but it's set up in a way that it works perfectly with stealth. And that's what makes it so good. That's what makes it so good. Alesso heist is one of the best heists in Payday 2. It is the best combination loud and stealth heist in Payday 2. And there they are. Here are the three. Hotline Miami is, I would say, the best loud heist in Payday 2. The Alesso heist is the best combination heist in Payday 2. And Shadow Raid is the best stealth-only heist in Payday 2. And all three of them do something so well that I couldn't even imagine it doing for the Alesso heist.
The vibe I'm getting from all this is that when Payday 2 does good, it does really good, but when it does bad, it's so fucking bad.
It's really not good. Because, like, all of the Payday 2 heists, like, a lot of them fall into pitfalls. And it's really sad that they fall into those pitfalls because they're so close to greatness. Aftershock and Panic Room could be so much more. But they're not. They fall into a pitfall or two. We just gotta deal with that. And then this garbage down here.
Like Goat Simulator.
Like Goat Simulator. And Go Bank. And Car Shop. Payday is the best example of broken clock is right twice a day. That's correct. Yeah. Uh-huh. No, that is actually 100% correct. Here's something that's going to make people probably a little bit angry at me. I think Hoxton Breakout is not an S tier for me. Maybe that won't make people mad. I don't think Hoxton Breakout is an S tier, but it's a pretty good loud-only heist. I can't care much for its day one, but its day two is a really good way of doing loud-only, where it's a holdout section where every now and then you have to go and do a different thing around this arena, which the arena is genuinely fun to play in, because it's close quarters and everything. Day one, they kind of ruined it by adding gun turrets. And that's where that sentence ends.
It does not need to go any further.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Hawks and Breakout is a pretty good heist. I would play it multiple times in a row because I think it's good enough. Let's see here. Let's get some, like, C-tier shit out. Like, some genuinely okay heists. Is Nightclub a Vlad heist? I think it is. So here comes another Vlad heist. And it's a C tier. Woohoo! Nightclub is, like, okay. The arena's, like, kind of fun. I don't think its stealth is that exciting. And a matter of fact, I find it obtuse and arbitrary. But its loud is pretty alright. And it's, like, It's okay. I remember running Hawks and Breakout with my buds when they dropped it. It was tons of fun. Can't believe I bungled it. Yeah, they really did bungle up Hawks and Breakout. They won by adding gun turrets to it. Everyone's favorite. Nightclub is another one of those heists that just sort of exist. People associate it with existing, and that's pretty much as much as I can say about it. Let's see. Let's do the bombs. In 2015? Maybe 2014. I think 2014. The Croatian game development studio, Lion Game Lion, released The Bomb DLC. Now, Lion Game Lion is owned by Starbreeze, and Lion Game Lion is a Croatian-based game developer studio. Now, I mentioned that it's Croatian because the heist and everything about it is very Croatian. The contractor that you get out of the Bomb DLC is Croatian. The heister that you get out of the DLC is Croatian. You get 2 guns. It adds 2 new guns with the DLC. The Leo and the Lion's Roar. And they are both Croatian guns.
I'm beginning to see a pattern here.
So, Lion Game Lion is a very Croatian, passionate game company. And they made the bombs. The bombs. The bombs are... What did I put them into again? I had already done this, and I'm just checking again, in case I'm, like, stuck. Oh, yeah. I remember now. They're like a low A, both of them. And let's talk about them. The Bomb Dockyard is another heist that does stealth and loud really good. Because you do kind of the same things. Loud is a little bit more exciting, though, where you blow up a wall, while in stealth, you just open it. So it's like, it's not as exciting from one to the other, but it does a pretty good job at that. And also, the Bomb Dockyard stealth is literally a stealth game where the guards walk on predetermined path lines, rather than in Payday 2, where they take semi-random paths. Which I think really works. The Bomb Forest is a little bit awkward. I still feel like it's an A tier. It's definitely not as good as Dockyard. The Bomb Forest is on a hillside. It's loud only. You've blown up a bridge to derail a train so you can get into the train cars to get the bomb out of. I think it's alright. Maybe not. It's not as good as Dockyard. Most definitely not. Maybe it would even go into, like, B tier. It's very much a low A tier thing. I think it does it pretty well. Yeah, the Butcher. Okay, we need to pull out one of the other, Vlad missions. So, Shadow Raid. Shadow Raid is really good because it's stealth only, right? So, what if Shadow Raid, but loud?
boy.
Meltdown, you have to steal a nuke from the Murky Water base, from the same Murky Water like warehouse that you were in for Shadow Raid. Takes place after the fact. What did I put this in here? I put it pretty low. I feel like I did put it pretty low. Did I put it in D last deer? Did I put it in D last time, or did I put it in C? I can't find it. Oh, there it is. I put it in C. I still agree with that. Meltdown is like criminally okay. It extends past just the Shadow Raid area, because here's like Shadow Raid's layout. Because you have this area, then you have that shouldn't be there. It should just be like that. You have a warehouse. You have the stock area over here, and this is like a very generalized layout of Shadow Raid. Meltdown takes place in all of this area. You do not have this area. And the rest of the heist takes place out here. It's another one of the car heists. So you have to drive out all the way over here and do like a maze of some kind to get to a train to throw them all onto. There's forklifts. But they're incredibly slow. So you'll probably take the antique car that's there. There are gun turrets on this heist. This entire area over here, the actual driving portion, is like such a mystery to me. I don't know how this area exists. And I don't know if it should. I don't have an eraser. And maybe it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't think Meltdown is very good. There's one Christmas heist. Where is it? Where is the Christmas heist? Here it is. There are 3 total Christmas heists. They're all Vlad. All Vlad, all the time. And we won't believe it. It's okay. The heist layout kind of blows. I don't like it. It's literally just drilling something open for 30 seconds, getting something, drilling something open for 30 seconds, getting it, drilling open something for 30 seconds, getting it, drilling, holding E on some spots, cool, and then you leave off of a Christmas tree. That's the coolest part of it, and it's just okay. Where's the music? Did the playlist end? I feel like it would. Nope. There's still music to go. I do love that Vlad makes the escape harder because he decides he wants the mall Christmas tree. I guess, but it's like, it's just silly. I don't like any of the Christmas heists. Like, White Christmas is the best one. Like, I enjoy that one a little bit, but the rest of them are just kind of eh. They're not great. I definitely don't think they're that great. I'm gonna move this light over just a little bit. That's probably gonna give me a headache, but whatever. We need to start rapid firing this a little bit. So I won't talk about every single one in as much depth as I usually would. Break-In Feds is the stealth-only version of Hawks and Breakout Day 2. It is okay. It's a stealth-only heist, and it's good for... It's like probably the worst stealth-only heist. Well, other than Car Shop. Enjoy Captain Winters and gun turrets. Thank you, Meadow. I love Captain Winters. I love gun turrets. They're so cool. Diamond Store. Diamond Store is literally okay, except they added gun turrets to it and made it even worse. But it's not bad enough for it to go into D tier. I think it's just okay. Even before gun turrets, it was literally just a larger jewelry store. Oh, we're pulling out the first Halloween. As well as Christmas heists, Payday 2 also had Halloween heists. Cursed Kill Room. Cursed Kill Room is not good. It's a D tier. It's not good. The Kill Room is a section in Payday 2's safe house where now you have to go through it and do the shit. It's not good. It's not a good heist. It's at best it's okay. At worst, it's pretty bad. Speaking of safe house and heists set in the safe house, here's Safe House Raid. Safe House Raid is an F tier. You can only play Safe House Raid on a random chance, once every 2 days or something. And when you do, you're constantly pestered to do it. And it's not a good heist. It's a holdout in your shitty safe house. But it takes 1 billion years to load because the diesel engine is the best thing of all time.
I see.
And for what? I don't think it's very good. It's not very good. The whole thing with it is that the cops are stealing money bags and you have to defend them, and it's silly. What? Huh? For Safe House Raid? It's not good. I don't think it's very good. Rats. I think this is the first Hector mission we're putting up. Rats is a high B for me. There's a reason for that. It's a 3-day mission. Day 1 is really good. Day 2 is a nice expansion of Day 1 because on Day 1, you have to make meth. You have to do some Breaking Bad shit. And in Day 2, you're resulting, how you go about the heist is slightly dependent on how many bags of meth you brought in. If you didn't hit your quota, you immediately have to go out and fight the gang you're trying to get info from. If you meet the quota, it's kind of a random chance, but if you exceed the quota, you have a certain chance. Once you drop off the meth, you can also steal it back. And then, go to war with that gang. There's a lot of different ways you can go about that heist, and I think it's really cool. Day 3 is complete nothing to me. You kill some guys and then leave, and that's really about it. But Rats is, genuinely, Day 1 is genuinely pretty good. So much so that they made an infinite version of it in Cook-Off. And I think Cook-Off is a B tier. And the reason for that is as follows. Let me pull out another heist real quick. There's a very specific reason. So one of the Halloween maps that I think they added in 2016? 2015, probably. 2015 seems like a safer guess. Right? It's 2013, they added the Cursed Safe House. Safe House Nightmare. 2014, they added... Nothing? What I'm talking about here is that Lab Rats came out, and it's a tiny do you know what a Rats map is?
I do not.
It's a map where you are a rat. like your rat size in a big map.
Oh.
And this is that. It's lab rats. It happens on the table that is in rats. And it's a funny little thing. I don't think lab rats is that good. Matter of fact, where do I put it on the list? I put it as a D tier, because it's 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 not very good. I'm gonna be completely honest. But I would have put it in C tier. Lab Rats added a bunch of comedic voice lines based on, like, it's supposed to be like a weirder version of a voice line Bane give you for the instructions on how to make meth, because you have to do it in a certain order, and Bane can sometimes mess it up. And that's joked on in here with a bunch of lines regarding that, specifically about one where Bane says, like, I'm 99% sure this is what you need to put in there. And so the entire heist has, like, Bane saying, like, I'm 5% sure, I'm 15% sure, I'm 23% sure, I'm 78.4% sure. Which is funny when it's contained in Lab Rats. Those voice lines made it over to Rats and Cook-Off.
Oh dear.
Why? Were these goofy voice lines really needed? Because really, it just ruined Cook-Off for me. The funny part of Cook-Off was just the down-to-earth voice lines from Bane, because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He specifically mentions the online... He specifically mentions, like, this online website I'm using for instructions isn't very clear. Which I think that's fucking hilarious. And instead you get shit like, wow, I'm 17.5% sure, because that's the only joke in it. In Lab Rats, it would be fine. In these two... No. Remember back before Bane would correct himself when he got the ingredients wrong? I'm pretty sure he always corrected himself. The name of a game with Cook-Off and Rats was to wait for Bane to say his second line, where he'll either confirm or deny his first one. Because how it works is Bane will say an ingredient, and in his second voice line, it will either be him correcting that his first one was wrong, or he will be saying, no, go, or he'll say a different line in which that is correct. Because he can say, put in this ingredient. No, don't do that. That's a mistake. Put in this one. Or he could say, put in this ingredient. These instructions are iffy at best. That's good. Because I'm pretty sure that's always been the case, even before Lab Rats. Because I remember that quite clearly being the name of a game was to wait for the second line confirmation. Because those second line confirmations were before Lab Rats, and I'm pretty sure that's just how the game launched. I don't know. I started playing Payday 2 in like late 2014, so what do I know?
And I know even less, because all I have is Payday Heist that I played back in 2015, and the Roblox version of Payday.
Oh god. Should I mention Vivo? No, I can't, because last time I played it was like 4 years ago, and I thought it sucked.
It's probably for the best to leave the Roblox Payday out of this, or else this is going to be another several hours.
Let's talk about another Hector heist. Firestarter. Firestarter is a D tier. Firestarter, day one, is quite interesting. You have to raid this airport that's run by a gang, and they just got a shipment of weapons in. And you have to steal those weapons, or you can destroy them. Cool. Day two, you have to go into, like, this FBI building, and it's, like, stealth-oriented. But the stealth is literally a random chance.
Awesome.
You can fail the stealth by random chance because you have to cut some power boxes, but those power boxes could be completely random. Like, I think there's some tell, but if you're playing it solo, it's completely random. And then day three, let me put up the branch banks. Because there's heists in Payday 2, which is just like a standard bank heist. You heist this, like, branch bank. I think it's just this. And there's like a couple variations of bank heist. And Bank Heist is, I think I put it as another C tier. Right? Right? Wait, where is it? Bank Heist. Yeah, Bank Heist is like a C tier. Because, like, it's the same layout over, like, 4 or 5 missions. Because you can do it in cash. You can do it just with the deposit boxes. You can have it be random. You can have it be with gold. In day 3 of Firestarter, it is just another bank heist. But you're burning money instead. Firestarter Day 3, which is supposed to be like the triumphant finale, is just another bank heist. So it's a D tier for me. Day 1 is like good. Day 2 is not very good. Day 3 is like a punch in the gut. Why would you want to play Firestarter? Firestarter, I'm pretty sure it used to be a pro-only job too. So there's even less reason to do it. It's because if you fail, you're done. Ay, ay, ay. Also, the structuring of Firestarter is really strange. Day 1 is supposed to be loud only. Day 2 is combination loud and stealth. Day 3 is combination loud and stealth. But you can, by some weird technicality, do Firestarter Day 1 stealth, but it requires an incredible amount of, like, precision timing from you that it's not possible, really. Be honest. It's not good. It's not good. It's really not good. It's not good. Even then, Day 1 just becomes kind of a slog. You have to wait for these safes to open. I mean, you have to move these weapons all like 100 meters up to your van. It's annoying. What else do we got here? There's one more. There is one more Hector mission. There's a very important reason for that, but we have to talk about it beforehand. Watch Dogs. Not the game, the heist. Watch Dogs is a 2-day heist for Hector, where you are moving cocaine, I think? You're moving something with a truck, and then the truck gets pulled over by the police, and you have to get the cocaine out, and then Day 2 is at the port, and you're delivering the coke onto a boat, and then that's pretty much it. What did I put it into? I feel like I put it into, like, maybe a B tier. Yeah, it's in B. It is very much a B tier one, because it's decently good. I like the arenas in both Day 1 and 2. And there's some neat little early game, like early Payday 2's life gimmicks in them. I think it's decently alright. Now, the reason why there's only 3 Hector missions is because where did it go? I had it here for a moment and now it's gone. Hoxton Revenge. Hector is a traitor. He set you up in Watch Dogs. It was a plan to apprehend the Payday gang, but it failed. And so Hoxton Revenge comes after Hoxton Breakout because Hector is the one that got Hoxton into jail. And so, in this heist, you kill Hector. And this heist, Hoxton Revenge, is... what did I put it into? I feel like it was okay. Hey, where did I put it into? I put it as a C tier in my tier list at first, but I think it's like a B tier. It's a fun idea. It suffers loud over stealth again. It's decent, and I think it's alright. It's, like, very okay. Hux and Revenge. I'm starting to get a headache. I need to go get a drink. So I'm gonna put the BRB screen on. Mist, are you still here?
Yes, I'm just quiet because I'm doing stuff.
Okay. Feel free to interchange the chat if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm putting on the BRB screen, which is awesome, and I'm gonna be right back.
So, how's everyone in chat doing? I'm being harassed by spiders in Minecraft. I don't know about fun. It was eventful, certainly. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, hey, hell yeah, I'm off. Are you having fun with the onion rings? I, for one, am wondering if Star is going to talk about the masks specifically, because the masks in Payday 2 are something.
Ah. Ah. Hi. I can now hear again.
Hello.
This song is really good. Whatever this fucking song is playing, turn that up. Okay, one of the best songs in Payday 2 is a song called Break the Rules, which was like an 80s inspired song. And its stealth is literally so good. And I don't know how they got away with that. And the song itself is just really fucking good. And the fun part about it is that it has hidden vocals in it. There's a random chance whenever an assault starts with a vocal version to start playing. But the rest of the time, it's instrumental, which I think is really fucking cool. This song rules. Which, in fact, let's just talk about the Scarface Mansion. Let me turn this down again. Alright, now, if you're wondering what this song is for, where is it? Here it is. Do you know that Payday 2 had a Scarface DLC crossover?
Well, I know that now.
It was specifically split off into a character pack and a map pack. The character pack is no longer available for sale because the partnership expired. This song, I fucking forgot about this song. This song has a fucking banger track in it. What did I put it into? I had to put it into like a B at most, like at least. I did. I feel like I'm upgrading it to an A because its music is just so fucking good. I don't know how they got away with making its music so fucking good, but they did it. They did it. And it's genuinely so good. Also, hi, I have sparkling ice, which is a good drink.
Nice.
How are most of Payday 2's really good heists the crossover ones? Don't know how. I mean, ignoring this. Let's continue. Let's do all of the Halloween ones. Safe House Nightmare is the first Halloween heist. As a matter of fact, it's the first themed heist ever, because it came out in 2013. And it's the old safe house, but it's got a really cool gimmick in it, where you have to drill open your safe to get your money out of. However, there are no enemies in the entire map, except for headless bulldozers. Do you remember how I explained that bulldozers, you have to get to their head for their weak point?
I can see the problem.
Headless dozers have no weak point. And they have a shield on their back as well. They're the only enemy. Like, depending on what difficulty you're on, you only have to fight like 3 or 4 at a time.
Oh boy.
It's such a cool gimmick on Payday 2's like loud mechanic, where it's like, it goes from being a horde game, like, it's a horde game. You have hordes of enemies. You probably fight in total like 20 enemies in this entire heist, depending on what difficulty you're on. That could rise and lower. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Easter eggs in it too. There's a bunch of random effects. It's a real can punter moment, where there's a bunch of random effects in it. Like, you could have a bunch of like hazmat civilians running around the place. The map could be, the ceiling could be on fire. You could, every time you jump, you get stunned, as if you were being tased. And also, there's a Left 4 Dead witch in it.
Oh.
Because that's fun. It's like completely Easter egg-ish, and it doesn't do anything. But it's really good. This is like such a fun little idea for an event map. What did I put it into? I feel like I might have put it into a B. Did I? Where is it? No! I put it into an A. Because I feel like it's such a cool twist on Payday 2's usual formula. And it's just really good. Oh no, something fell on the floor, and it's definitely a very not good heist.
Oh no.
That's, so we talked about Hector already, and now Hector is dead. We've gone through pretty much all of the Vlad missions. Let's talk about the Elephant. The Elephant is a corrupt politician who all of his heists are centered around giving him political edge.
Ah.
Election Day is a heist where you skew election results in the Elephant's favor. And this is actually a genuinely cool heist. I think I put it into a B tier, and there's a specific reason for that. Yeah, I did. Election Day has a cool effect in it. Oh yeah, and also the Elephant is Republican, remember that. The Elephant, his whole deal in Election Day is that you have to skew election results. And so on day 1, you go to the warehouse where the voting machines are being loaded onto the trucks. However, you're not there to, like, skew with the voting machines. You're there to tag the truck. When you tag the trucks on, you have to, through finding hints in the level with, there are 2 computers you can find, which will tell you the color of the truck and the brand of the truck. Like, the company that's shipping them. You have to find those 2, and then you get you get which truck. There are 2 day 2s in this, because you can succeed at getting the right truck, or you can fail, and there are 2 different results of which day 2 you get, which is super fucking cool, and it's the only time it ever happens. The correct day 2 is in the warehouse where they're being stored. It's the day before, and you have to hack the voting machines. My bad. The sparkling ice is carbonated, so I'm burping a lot. You have to hack the voting machines to get the correct ones hacked to skew the election results. But if you go loud, you still do the same thing, but you do a few additional things as well to make it. What you do is actually the code that you install instead installs it for their competitor, so it flags them, like it frames them as being the ones that do it. But if you do it right, it just skews it in favor of the elephant, which is really cool. Day 2 is not as good as the wrong day 2 is not as good as the correct one. Notably, day 2 is allowed only. It's election day, and you run into the area where the elections are being done and blow them up. Or something. I don't know. I don't remember it because I always got it right because I'm awesome. And you can't stealth it. But correct day 1 or day 2 is actually really fun. If you complete the mission in stealth, you get a bonus of gold bars from the elephant. But if you do it loud, you get a worse heist. You get a worse heist because there's a gun turret in it. You rob a bank and destroy the machines in the crossfire. That's what it is. You're making it look like, yeah, that's what it is. There's a bank next to the election office, and you're blowing up into the bank through the election office wall, which in tandem destroys the election machines, which is actually really fucking cool. I forgot about that. I forgot that was what you actually do. But that's actually a really cool evolution of that. And day 2 wrong is still really fun, and day 2 correct is fun in stealth, but not fun in loud. And so that's why it's in B. It could be A if day 2 correct was better in loud. And day 1 in stealth is still a little bit iffy because there is a random chance that one of the machines is in a locker, and you either have to get a random key card or you have to drill it open, which drilling is a huge risk in Payday 2. It's not the best, which is why it is a B. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're intentionally sabotaging it. It just looks like, oh, well, you're breaking into the bank. Obviously, that's what it was. I just think it's a really fucking cool mission, because it's like, it has 2 different day 2s depending on what you do in day 1, which is really fucking cool. It's really fucking cool. No, in fact, fuck it. Because it has that gimmick alone, it goes into a low A. It's that cool that it has that mechanic. And it never gets used ever again in Payday 2. How does this keep happening? Payday 2 keeps getting runaway hits with their missions, and then they never do anything with them ever again.
It's like some kind of fucking monkey's paw type deal or something.
Yeah. Oh, the transport missions. My bad.
You have cool new stuff, but you're not allowed to capitalize on it.
Yeah. So we mentioned, transport train heist, which is the secret version of the transport missions. Here is the transport, just the standard ones. They're all combined into the same thing because there's 5 different heists of them. And they are all, okay. Well, maybe C is a little bit harsh. It's like a high C. They all do the same thing. They would be higher if you actually got to see what happened. Everything that you see in the actual heists themselves are after the fact, after the thing has already been done. Because some of them are really cool. One of them, you blow up a bridge. The other one, you crash into the armored truck. There's potential of really cool effects, but they don't really happen. It's always after the fact. So. If you try to convince me the fuel prototype job is good. I would never do anything dirty like that. Let me pull out Big Oil. Big Oil used to be a pro-only mission. And it fucking sucks. Where did I put it? I think I put it into a D tier. Because it's no longer a pro mission. If it was still a pro mission, it would be an F tier. But Big Oil, what you do in Big Oil, you have to first... the general goal is that there's this scientist, and he's making, like, a renewable energy fuel source. Like, it's a green fuel. Like, it's a natural gas... not natural gas. What is it? It's like a prototype fuel, and this scientist is having a breakthrough of it. The objective is to steal it.
Propane too? Fuck it.
The objective is to steal it because it would make the gas and oil industry suffer. So really, it's just a commentary on Republicans. But day one, you have to go into like this gangster gang. The heist sucks on both a gameplay and an ethical level. Yeah. You have to go into a gang, kill them all, steal the document telling you where the guy lives, which you could have just Googled. And then day two is actually going there. Here's the thing. Day two of Big Oil is a loud-only heist. It is framed as a day one, or not, my bad. It is framed as a stealth in loud heist. There's aspects of stealth in it, but there's one door that once you open, any guard that walks by will be alerted immediately. Big Oil. What you have to do this fucking bullshit puzzle. You have to find the right generator, which there's 16 of them. And there's random hints all around the map on computer screens that you have to just catch. And the game doesn't really instruct you on this. You have to point to which one the generator could be. You pick it up. It's the slowest bag in the game. Move it to a helicopter, put it on there, wait 2 minutes, see if it's the correct one. If not, grab another one. It's genuinely the worst heist ever. And it used to be pro only. It used to be pro only, so if you failed, or if like you destroyed one of the computer screens by accident, you're fucked. Big Oil is not a good mission. Big Oil is not a good heist, even after pro heists disappeared. It's not good. Big Oil is a D tier. It's not as bad as it could be, as it once was, but it's still not good. I don't want to play Big Oil. There's one more elephant mission, I believe, because I believe all of the ones relating to the elephant are instead passed over to the Continental for the John Wick tie-in heists. But there's one more, and it is also no good. It's Framing Frame. Let's pull up Framing Frame here. Framing Frame is another D tier. Framing Frame is not good. Day one is okay. You go into an art gallery and steal specific paintings that you put micro cameras into. In day two, you sell those micro camera paintings to this senator that you're trying to frame. And then in day 3, you do exactly that. You go into his condo and you find 5 items to then upload onto, so then Bane can upload all the incriminating evidence because the guy's fucking corrupt and does weapon deals for gold. And so you frame him also for cocaine possession. Framing frame is not good. There's a heist-only section of it where you have to steal gold. Don't do it. I think there's like an achievement for it, but don't do it. It's not good. Stealth kind of fucking sucks. It's like the opposite effect of Alesso Heist, where both stealth and loud suck on framing frame day 3. On day 3, loud, you just have to sit by a computer and a generator for 10 minutes. Literally 10 minutes. That's not like a joke. I'm not making a joke here. It's 10 minutes of waiting around. It's really not good. It's really not good. I don't like it at all. Framing frame day 2 has a random chance of an entire heist going loud. I think dependent on if you did day 1 loud. So if you like failed at the very last moment, your day 2 could, like if you failed stealth at the very last minute of day 1, day 2 could be loud, and you just gotta deal with that with your piddly little stealth loadout. It's not good. Framing frame is not good. I don't know what the wine is. That seems like something that was added for a Raid World War II promotional event, which makes sense for it fucking sucked. What's next? I need to knock these out of the park. I need to get these out of here. There's still so fucking many of these. Oh, wait, I know what I want to do. It's, art gallery. So, day 1 was the best part of Framing Frame. They've made it just a day 1. So, here it is. And you know what? I think I put it in a C tier. Because it's still not that great. But it's better than playing... It's better than playing Framing Frame. It's an extra thing you get and steal on day 3, but you don't get any drop-off points if you go loud. Precisely. Yes. Framing frame day 3 just kind of sucks. Another thing you can do, in case you're ever doing that ever again, and you start going loud and you have the wine, if you have any bags on you, like as you go into an escape area, you take those bags with you and they are counted towards your loot. Although, I doubt anyone ever wants to play Framing Frame ever again. What do I have here? I picked a random one. Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs breaks Payday 2's canon. Let me tell you why. Let me pull out the diamond. The diamond is a genuinely cool heist that you get from the dentist. It's like the first thing he gives you to do. It's a pretty decent heist. I put it as a B tier because it's not that replayable, honestly. It's got some cool moments in it. Bane specifically makes a Reservoir Dogs reference of the movie in the diamond. Reservoir Dogs happens after the fact from the diamond. So how does Bane make a reference to Reservoir Dogs in the diamond? Or at all? Reservoir Dogs is like, either way. It's like the start of the, Alaskan Job is the start of like the final parts of Payday 2, but it's still not just a very good heist. Day 1 and Day 2 on Reservoir Dogs are swapped, so I have to talk about Day 2 first and then Day 1. Day 2 just kind of fucking sucks. You defend a warehouse and walk around for a little bit, and that's it. My bad. Day 1 is just about the same. You do a holdout section. It's the better part of Reservoir Dogs, but I don't want to play the Day 2 of it. I just want to play the Day 1 of it. But this is where we start to see that, well, we need a little bit more context of this. We'll talk about the end of Payday 2. Starting with the Alaskan Deal. Where is it? Where is Alaskan Deal? Where is Alaskan Deal? Murky, Big Bang, Slaughterhouse. Is that already up here? No. It is not. Because the Alaskan Deal... Here it is. Alaskan Deal is literally an S-tier mission. How did they get away with that? Alaskan Deal is just a genuinely really good, loud-only heist. You do a few things, it's in a fun arena, those things that you do are decently fun, and then you leave, and it's like a cool concept. And it's the start of like the final parts of the Payday 2 story. How is it this good? How is it an S-tier? It's not like, I don't think it's got anything special in it, it's just really good Payday 2 combat. And like, I like to replay it a lot. I think it's an S tier. Part of why it actually feels like a designed level. A lot of the Payday 2 levels I feel like fall into the facet of like, they are like too close to realistic. Alaskan Deal feels the most gamey of them all, in a way, if that makes sense. But of course, every single one has level design. Don't get me wrong. Definitely don't get me wrong. I don't want to sell anyone at Overkill for their work on the level design of this any short, because they're all levels that have been designed and such. But Alaskan Deal feels like the most... feels... What's the word I'm looking for? There's a very specific word. It feels very, like... polished isn't it? It feels very tightly designed. And it very much succeeds on it. And it's very plot important because it's the first part of the end of Payday 2. But before we talk about that, we have to talk about two other heists. So Lock and Load is a DLC that came out, and that's about as much as I can say about it, other than the fact that it introduced us to Locke. Locke is someone who is part of Murky Water, but he kind of hates Murky Water, and he's using the Payday gang to help him get back at Murky Water or something. And so there are two heists about it. There is Birth of Sky and Beneath the Mountain. Birth of Sky has a really cool part where you parachute out of a plane, and it is just D tier for the rest of the mission because the plane section is 1 minute and 30 seconds long.
Have you actually timed that? Or is that an estimate?
I feel like that's a very close estimate. It's very close, because, like, the rest of the heist is, like, it's a larger version of 4 stores where, like, you're throwing bags onto a place, and then it's just boring. I don't like it. Also, there's gun turrets in it. Beneath the Mountain is decent. Actually, no, it's a B tier. It's good. Beneath the Mountain has some cool concepts in it. There's a thing that you look through a camera system at various vaults, and those vaults have names, and you have to either tell your teammates what those names are, or you have to remember that, go out of the camera, go to the selection menu, pick which vault you want to unlock, and have it go through a cooldown. What's really cool is that this cooldown happens in one secluded little area where there's enough differentiate, like, there's enough separation in this one room where cops can, or it's not cops, it's murky water specifically, can disrupt the cooldown that's happening. You have to restart it. Very different from Framing Frame, which has it just everywhere in the condo. You have to defend every point in the building to be able to get it done within like 20 minutes. Sure, man, gotcha. But Beneath a Mountain is just really well done. And it doesn't have any gun turrets. It's gotta count for something. But Birth of Sky could have been so good, but it isn't because it never actually capitalized on the fact that you're parachuting out of a plane. And from the trailer that they put out of it, I felt like that was going to be a little bit more significant. This is not part of Payday 2's eventual end and storyline. This is just Heat Street. Heat Street is okay, I think. It wasn't a very good heist in Payday the Heist, and I don't think it's a very good heist here. So it's just a C tier for me. I can't really say much about it. It's got stupid fucking gun turrets positions. It's just a lot of long sight lines. If you like being plinked at a million miles away, then this is the heist for you, but it's not for me. What's next? I need to, like, fucking slingshot through these, because I can't... Fuck it, let's just go, like, crazy. Let's go fucking stupid. Golden Grid is a B tier because it's cool, but its stealth has a lot to be desired. It suffers the same effects as a lot of other ones. The Yacht Heist is a stealth-only mission, but it's, like, one of the other kind of stealth-only ones. So it goes there. That's actually the worst stealth-only, other than Car Shop, but that isn't stealth-only. The Diamond Heist is a classic map from Payday the Heist, and I think I put it into B tier because it's like, it's good in that, but it's also good in this. And that's where I'm going to put it into. Undercover is like a very good A tier, loud-only classic heist from Payday the Heist. They knocked it out of the park. Lots of fun, close-range combat. First World Bank is, like, extremely okay, and I will hear nothing else out of other people because its stealth is stupid, and I can't care for its loud. Which one is it? Where is it? Wait, where is it? Oh, here it is. I'll go a little bit slower for this. Payday 2 released a Hardcore Henry crossover DLC pack.
Oh yeah.
Or no, that was free.
That movie did happen, huh?
I did enjoy that movie. And I enjoyed this. Murky Station is like Shadow Raid, where it is stealth only. And it is an A tier. I don't think it's as good as Shadow Raid because it isn't as sandboxy. There's a very clear objective in Murky Station. There's not much variation to it. It's got some cool ideas like drone cameras, but that's about it. But then, the second heist, it's separated into two heists because it's a stealth-only heist and then a loud-only heist. So doing them in the same time frame is a little bit strange. So in Murky Station, you are stealing an EMP, and that lets you into Boiling Point. Boiling Point is a loud-only where you raid this Russian, like, secret laboratory where it's the, if you watch Hardcore Henry, it's the place where Hardcore Henry, that sentence is now over.
Understood.
But they're both very good. They're both genuinely good heists. They're not as good as their counterparts, but I think they're pretty good. Oh, how did we never talk about the Big Bank? The Big Bank is like a B tier, I think I said. And if I did say that on there, Oh no, I put the Big Bank as an A tier. You know what? Yeah, sure. It's like a low A because it's loud. It's fucking incredible. It's loud is awesome. Loud Big Bank is great. Stealth Big Bank is a little bit tedious and I don't care for it as much. And it suffers the same issues as pretty much every other heist. Prison Nightmare is another Halloween event map, and it came out, and it released, and that's about as much as I can say about it. Slaughterhouse is like a decent B tier. Because it is just another Payday the Heist map. And it's decent in its transition over to Payday 2. Man, I'm really knocking it out of a park with saying transition and comes out in the same sort of time span, huh?
Yeah.
Green Bridge is like... I don't care for it. I thought it wasn't very good in Payday the Heist, and I don't think it's very good here. I think I improved it, but not by much. We can talk about the final moments of Payday 2 now. No Mercy is the last of the classic maps to come out. And it specifically mentions something about a virus. And that it specifically mentions something about a virus. In Payday the Heist, this was just the green flu, which is the zombie stuff in Left 4 Dead. But in Payday 2, they rewrote it to be something that Murky Water is working on. What did I put No Mercy into? I feel like I put it as a C tier. Because I think it's okay. I think it's alright. I don't want to replay it. I think it was very fun in Payday the Heist, but it's not very fun in Payday 2. Maybe it would be like a low B. Like, it's a high C, low B. It's like, it's the in-between area. There we go. It's like, okay, I don't care for it as much anymore, for some reason. But I can't give a concrete answer on why. Because I just don't know. I don't know. Ask me anything. I don't know nothing. I own nothing. But
what a great stream to say that on. The stream where you're supposed to explain everything.
I know nothing! Alaskan Deal is where Locke betrays you. Locke sets you up and sells you out. And in Reservoir Dogs, Bane gets captured by Murky Water and then tells you that Locke is okay. Locke is a teammate. Trust Locke. Before Bane is captured by Murky Water. And then you gotta do some shit. You gotta go to Brooklyn Bank to get a piece of a stupid thing, and it's like a It's complete. It's like a nothing burger of a mission. But it's plot important, I guess. And then the second one is that you also have to get another thing from this place called the Shacklethorn Auction, which I think was, actually, I don't know where I put it into. I think I put it into a C, because it just wasn't a very memorable mission for me. And then you go to Henry's Rock. I think you might actually go to Henry's Rock in between Shacklethorn and Brooklyn. But Henry's Rock, you're finding information about the virus, and you get to see where Bane is. There's a heister in Payday 2 named Jiro. Jiro used to be part of a Yakuza, I believe, and then he got betrayed. Jiro got wind that his lost son was in America, and so he went over there and joined the Payday gang to find his son. We learn in Henry's Rock that Jiro's son is the big bad of Murky Water.
Oh. Well, that's a problem.
Also, Henry's Rock is like, eh. No, wait, you know what? It's a fucking D tier because its ending sucks because it has 2 gun turrets at the same time. And then, You find out where Bane is. You go to Hell's Island.
I thought you were just gonna say that you go to hell, and I was going to accept that there was a payday mission where you just go to actual hell
Then you go to hell.
before you die.
Hell's Rock is... Where did I put this? I feel like I put this as like a C tier. Wait. Henry's Rock is... Wait, no, this is Hell's Island. What is Hell's Island under? On this fucking thing? Where did I put it? Oh, I put it as a C tier. Yeah, that fits. That tracks. It's like, okay, you have a holdout section, and then you run for 2 minutes, and then you have an escape sequence. Where Bane kills Jiro's son, and then collapses because he's infected with a virus from No Mercy, wherever it is, here. So Bane is fucking dying, and in his dying breaths, he is still fucking dying. He tells the Payday gang that they need to pull off the greatest heist of all time. The White House. And the White House is a B tier. It's like, okay. The White House is... the loud is fun. The stealth, I don't care for. But there's also the secret in it. If you just do... Okay, so what the White House is, you have to break into it and steal the bail bonds, which are like these blank bail bonds that were written by George Washington, like the Founding Fathers. And they are empty, and they can be filled in by anyone to bail anyone out. And that's why they're so valuable, and Bane wants them. And then you pull that off, and it's reported that the Payday gang is killed in the engagement. However, instead, the gang has a funeral in Mexico to honor Bane. The true ending of Payday 2, however, is that you go into this fucking cave that's in the White House. You do a stupid puzzle. This is where, Shacklethorne Auction and Brooklyn Bank are leading up to. You have to do this puzzle when you go to the cave, and then you do another puzzle and you do this thing, and then you have to kill the dentist who is setting you up all this time. Right? The dentist? Yeah, the dentist. You have to kill the dentist, and then Bane gets resurrected as into the President of the United States.
You know, I learned this when I looked at the wiki earlier, but it still sounds like some made-up shit, and it's not. It's not.
Bane becomes the fucking President of the United States.
Space junk chat.
Oh my god. Yeah, because a lot of Payday 2's cutscenes are live action. They actually have like actors that they modeled after, and they're the Payday gang. Ethan and Gila are not in the funeral. They're not at the funeral. And so I guess canonically they backed out of a White House job, and then they just returned to live streaming. Like, that's their explanatory text. So, great. But that's it! I've now properly explained, not really, the Payday 2 storyline, and that means I can swap over to Camfrey. Oh, it's gonna feel so fucking good to sit down now after like an hour and a half of just talking about Payday 2 shit.
Hooray!
So, we need to talk about the rest about Payday 2. Someone did something, and I don't know what. Oh, that was my follow notification. Cool. So, now that we've done we need to talk about what happens after Payday 2, like its main storyline. Because that was originally supposed to be it. Payday 2's development was supposed to end in late 2018. In late 2018, what am I trying to think of? In 2018, that was supposed to be it. Payday 2 was done. We were going to work on Payday 3. And then something happened. So let's talk about everything that was going on while Payday 2 was sort of going on. Firstly, let's talk about Lion Game Lion. Lion Game Lion worked on a few things for Payday 2. They're a company owned by Starbreeze. They're Croatian-based. We already talked about this. They made the Bomb Heist DLC and the Barbecue weapon pack for Payday 2. And I think they made one other thing, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Lion Game Lion in 2016 or something announced Raid World War II, which was Payday in World War II. It was announced, and I remember playing the beta for Raid World War II, and I remember thinking that the game sucked. I don't think Lion Game Lion is a company that exists anymore, because Raid World War II bankrupted it. The game came out, and that's all I can say about it. I had fucking clearance copies of Raid World War II in my stores for 3 more years! And I only had 2 of the things! Raid World War II was literally Payday 2, but in World War II. It was literally a worse experience. The diesel engine was already showing its age by the time Payday 2 came out.
Ooh. So, I looked them up. Their official website still exists.
Yes, it does.
There's a What's New tab. It has not posted anything new since 2017.
Yes. I don't think Lion Game Lion exists anymore. I think that the website still being up is a mistake. Somehow the PaydayTheGame.com webpage is still throwing me errors. It's like down, but not really. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. Lion Game Lion's still up, man. They literally... Raid World War II announced it got like 50% everywhere, and then Lion Game Lion went out of business. That's Lion Game Lion's legacy. They made a really good DLC pack for Payday 2, and then they died. They went away. They don't exist anymore.
Some other stuff is like, their most recent posts were in 2018 about updates for Raid World War II. But that's it. There's nothing else going on.
There's nothing else. I'm very certain that Lion Game Lion doesn't exist anymore. A few other things to mention. Who was even playing at that point? Good call, yeah. There's a few other things. In 2015, I believe, Overkill announced that they were making Payday Crime War, the mobile port of Payday 2, where you play 4-player versus 4-player as a cops and robbers game. Let me reiterate on this. Payday Crime War was and is the official mobile port of Payday 2. Now, for some people, that was and is probably petrifying. And there's a very good reason for that. When Payday 2... When Payday Crime War was announced, it took about until 2016... No, it took until 2016 until a closed beta came out. I think the game was announced in 2016. And then 2 years later, Overkill announced that they had shelved the game because they couldn't find a publisher for it. And then 2 years later, I think, maybe 3, the game's development was just sort of silently restarted by a game developer company called Pop Reach. Who the fuck cares? Who cares about Payday Crime War anymore? Like, genuinely, who cares about Payday Crime War? Who cares about Payday 2? literally at the point of 2018, who was caring enough for a Payday on mobile? And then in 2021, and literally last December, Top Reach had a closed beta for Payday Crime War, and they also have a Discord server, which I am too scared to join.
There's also a Discord server listed for Raid World War II.
I wonder how active that one is. I wonder if it still exists.
I'm gonna look. I'm curious. Lion Game Lion, 155 online, 577 members. Oh boy.
You're about to walk into a fucking ghost town.
There's posts in there from 2022.
You are looking at like you're looking at like a fucking trying to think in my head. Head's empty. I have no more thoughts. Um I've completely forgotten what I was about to talk about. Crime War. They had a beta test in 2021 December, and also the Payday Wiki slates that the game will come out in Q4 of 2021, and it's currently late February 2022. So I think the fandom wiki is a little bit wrong on that. What else? Can I just spitball a few things? Starbreeze, like, Starbreeze acquired a company called, like, Star VR or something. Star VR is, or was, there is no is and was, it's just was. Star VR was like a VR headset development company that was supposed to come out with a Star VR, which for 2017 times was supposed to be this high-end VR headset. It would have been similar to the Index we got like 2 years later. Star VR, I'm pretty sure, announced their headset and then disappeared forever because Starbreeze sold 66.7% majority stock to Acer, and I'm pretty sure Star VR just doesn't exist anymore. So that's Star VR. The most amount of legacy that Star VR probably has is the fact that it's the name of my Steam VR account. It's just called Star VR in homage. What else?
Apparently LGL is working on something and has been since 2020.
They exist?
They exist. They exist.
What the fuck? This is the most revelating part. I thought Lion Game Lion went out of business like 3 years ago.
Nope. It seems they still exist. This is, I'm posting it in the text chat for the server. It's something from 2022, but, like, they talk about how they're working on a game called Shrubbery, or at least that's what they're calling it for now. They're not going to use Diesel Engine.
Yeah, there's a specific mention here that Diesel Engine is gone forever, and that's really fucking funny. Oh, whoops, I knocked the camera around. What the fuck? They're still alive? This isn't like a joke?
They exist. They fucking exist.
I didn't think they were even still around. This is revelating. They use the cyberpunk yellow background.
Yeah, that's what hit me.
Holy shit. They still exist. That's... Update your website, please.
Like a developer posted in there back in April Fools of 2021 about like a joke release for their game. It's like,
They
okay,
still fucking exist.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this place. I'm fucking curious.
They still fucking exist. That's so wild to me. I'm so
We're
sorry, Lion
learning
Game Lion. I thought you
we're
were dead.
we're learning so much today.
I'm pretty confident that Star VR is fucking dead, though. Star VR has to be dead. Lion Game Lion, I feel like at some point was limping on the ground, dead. Almost dead. No fucking idea what happened there. We gotta talk about Dead by Daylight. Do you know that
Oh,
Starbreeze published Dead by Daylight?
yes.
When they went under, when they started to go under, they sold off Dead by Daylight to a different company. That is important. And also, what's really important is that the official Payday 2 Twitter account personally gave me a beta key for Dead by Daylight, and I never played it.
That's for the
The
best.
Payday 2 Twitter account personally gave me a beta key for Dead by Daylight, and I never played the game!
Listen, I'm speaking as someone with 425 and a half hours in Dead by Daylight. You don't want to play Dead by Daylight.
Like, I just think about that every now and then. They gave me a Steam key for it, and I never played it. But I
It's
guess
very funny, is the thing.
this is a good segue to talk about the downfall of Overkill and Starbreeze specifically. Um, Payday 2 was done. Valhalla Game Engine. Starbreeze bought the exclusive rights to Valhalla Game Engine in 2015. And it was supposed to be the studio's next big engine. They had announced Overkill's The Walking Dead in 2014, and development was going slow on it for a long time. And Valhalla was supposed to be there for Overkill's The Walking Dead. In 2017, I believe, Overkill got Valhalla Game Engine. It was delivered to them. It was unfinished. They couldn't make a game out of it. So in a panic, they decided to swap over to Unreal Engine 4 and make Overkill's The Walking Dead in that, and had an entire year about so to remake the game essentially from the ground up, like re-importing everything that they needed and just using Unreal Engine 4. Overkill's The Walking Dead came out, and that's about as much as I can say about it. It got mediocre reviews by reviewers and players, so much so that the license holder for Overkill, like the license holder for The Walking Dead, I forget what they're called. They're called like Skylight or something. Pulled. They pulled their promotion deal, and so you cannot buy Overkill's The Walking Dead anymore unless you get. No, you can't. You just can't, because the console ports were fucking trashed because they no longer had the license to work on the game. This spiraled Starbreeze into bankruptcy. So much so that one of the founders, there were two founders of Starbreeze specifically. One of them left, and also they were the voice actor for Wolf, and they would found 10 Chambers, which 10 Chambers will never make anything. Are you fucking kidding me? Nah, 10 Chambers, nah. And the other founder, while they were going into bankruptcy, the other founder was pressured by his fucking bank to do insider trading to shore up some funds. And then their offices got raided by Swedish police for insider trading. Which is
Oh
so
my god,
fucking
I
funny.
forgot about the police raid. I forgot about that.
The developers of Payday 2 had their offices raided. because of insider trading. Um,
Life imitates art.
Starbreeze would sell off most of their assets. They sold Dying Light to a different company. I forget who, but I don't remember.
Ah.
Like, they liquidated most of their assets, and they silently restarted development of Payday 2 because it was their only cash flow. Techland. Techland is correct. They restarted development on Payday 2 after it was supposed to be done. Which, to be fair, Payday 2 is in a pretty good state to play right now. They removed microtransactions. In Update 100, they started introducing drill-less saves because people were angry. And then eventually, they just fucking removed saves. Like, you open all of them now for free, and you just get stuff out of them. Cool. That's cool. Payday 2 is in a good state to play right now because it doesn't have the microtransaction bullshit in it. And then they started up Payday 2's development again, and it's like a side story where like some of the gang is in Mexico, and you're doing heists in Mexico. And I mentioned when we were starting to do that, none of them are on this tier list, but they're all okay. They're all like... you can very much tell that Overkill and Starbreeze let go of most of their staff. Because I remember in the Crossing Border heist, which is like the introductory for all of the heists in Mexico, specifically, one of the warehouses is just a carbon copy of the warehouse from Election Day, Day 2 Correct Choice. It's just the same warehouse again. So you can very much tell that, they may not have had the same team anymore, and it shows quite a bit. They made some decent stuff out of it, but also one of the heists that they added during this sort of string of heists was genuinely the first time I've ever had to look up a walkthrough for a Payday 2 heist.
Oh dear.
It was not good. It was not good at all. It was not good at all. It took a year of like restructuring for Starbreeze to be stable again. Alright, they are currently developing Payday 3. Payday 3 is expected to release in 2023. I have a feeling if it doesn't work out, pause for effect. Is that it? Talked about Crime War. Talked about the fall of Starbreeze there. It's pretty brief, but it's been covered by people better at explaining that than me. But there's not much to explain. Payday 2 is in a weird state where it's still getting DLC packs. A DLC pack launched last week.
I can't wait for the Everything in Detail DLC pack.
I can't wait for them to reach out to me and be like, "Do you want to be a heister in Payday 3?" And I look at them and I'm like, "Who are you?" No, they wouldn't do that for me because the Ethan and Gila DLC pack was specifically so they could fund money for the lawsuit that they were in with some dude. So, whatever. I specifically remember the Payday 2 Steam fan group sent out a notification to all 3 million members that Ethan and Gila won the court case. And I'm pretty sure at least half of those people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That happened! And that's all I can say about that. And it's so strange because the Ethan and Gila DLC pack is not even included in the Legacy pack. It is the only DLC that I don't own from before White House. Is the only DLC pack that I don't own. That before White House. Of the Legacy ones. which says something in a way.
Sure does.
Is there anything else?
I mean, I know there's weird masks in Payday 2. I have seen some of them.
2015 Crime Fest. So the whole thing with Crime Fest is that at the end they have like the big reveal. The big reveal at the end of Crime Fest 2015 was jumping animations, and with that they added 4 jumping related achievements that gave you troll and doge masks.
Oh.
Troll face and doge masks.
Isn't there also like some other old meme face in there?
I mean,
I feel like I remember that.
They have troll faces for like Donald Trump.
Yeah, they do
Well,
kind of
not
have
troll faces. They have masks of them, of him. And
yeah,
it's
like
it's so strange.
political caricature type stuff.
Yeah, because like the first, they had it for like the historical presidents, so, like George Washington, Richard Nixon, like heisters, like not heisters, presidents that are notable through history, and then it's just here's the Donald Trump mask. I don't even know if that picked up on my microphone, and I hope it didn't. Is that it? Is that everything I have to say about Payday 2? This took way less time than I thought it would. I thought it would be going on for 6 hours. Well, no, we're like 4 hours in, and I think I've covered everything that I want to.
Hooray!
I mentioned Overkill's The Walking Dead, which took 4 years to come out and was a commercial failure. I mentioned Raid World War II, which released, and that's about as much as I can say about it.
And then we discovered that LGL still fucking exists.
Lion Game Lion still fucking exists, which is incredible to me, but good for them. I don't want to say that I think they should be out of business, but what I was saying was I wouldn't be surprised if they were. But they're not, which is impressive and extremely resilient. I wonder if it's still under Starbreeze, or if, like, they released them. Don't know.
That's a good question.
Don't know. I don't know. I don't care. Is that it? I think that's it. I think I talked about everything I really wanted to talk about. The stupid ARG puzzle thing at the end to resurrect Bane into the current president of the United States. Payday 3 will come out, which is the same tagline that I use for Can Punter. I think that's it. I think the most impressive part of this is that I still have this coat on. I thought I'd be taking this off after like 2 hours. But here I am! I think that really is it.
Right.
That's it. At least Camp Hunter is a video game that exists. Yeah, it is like in actual people's hands now. So, yeah, I think that's genuinely it. Which means I can give you the forbidden camera angle. Hey, so here's what my room looks like right now. It's looking great. That light. These cameras, like the tripods, are like interlinked with each other right now. I look fucking incredible. That's it. I am gonna get out of here because that's all I need to talk about, and I've accomplished my mission. So let's raid someone. I know Socks is live. We could just hop on over to Socks. But no, genuinely, I wasn't expecting this to just go by so quickly. Thank you to everyone who like hopped in and watched. I seriously appreciate it. I wouldn't be doing everything in detail if nobody showed up. So I'm very happy that people enjoyed this thing. All right.
I've learned so much today.
You have. I am burdened with the knowledge that Payday 2 exists, and everyone else has to experience that. Alright. That was clean. I wasn't expecting to get done that quickly. Alright. Let us raid socks. Do we have a raid phrase? We should have a raid phrase. Wait, we have to have it be a classic Payday 2 joke. Is this a good raid phrase? I feel like ours is going to be... Here, this is our raid message. Go ahead and copy and paste that, and we're gonna go raid socks. Did that work? Yes, that worked.
Thermal
All right.
drill get added to God game.
All right. I'm gonna hit the stream end video, which should hopefully be pre-cached, and it is not, so it's playing at half the speed. Thanks for coming around, and I will see you somewhere else.
Yeehaw.